Perfect.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cube Esports. And today, as you guys know, we have guest night. Who do we have for guest night? I'm going to tell you who we have for guest night. We have
Fellas.
one of the coldest, meanest, most gangster ass
Smiling.
goalie
You're making them blush, Luis.
that I have ever seen. Shout out to Puerto Rico.
That's right.
We got Cody, Laurendi.
Choo choo
Hey.
choo.
Bump, 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 bump. Booyakasha. Guys, thank you for having
Cody,
me.
thank you for coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, he is taken, so back away, okay?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Happily married.
That's right.
That's a question we always ask.
Okay.
It's a question we always ask.
Okay, did you
Yeah,
ask
that's.
when Zach was in here? Did you guys ask him then?
Nah, we just said he was single. I don't know. He has that swagger demeanor. I was just like, nah, he
You're right.
he pulling the ladies.
You're
He
right,
pulling
you're
the
right.
ladies. He's got that quiet demeanor going on. But yeah, man, Cody, thank you so much for coming in here, hanging out with us, and we already got to talking a little bit, and yeah, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Quick little shout out to Latino, always coming out here representing a lot of companies. We got Selva. Shout out to Selva. Shout out to is it Dunn and Hernandez? It might as well be called Hernandez. And then shout out to Football Factory, ladies and gentlemen. And you know who it is. It's your man Chubby Man and JR Kid.
Hello.
Let's get it.
For you guys that don't know, Cody is he's retired now, but he was a professional soccer player for many years. Likes of Puerto Rico. He represented the likes of LA Galaxy too, and the Energy. I'm gonna go ahead and put his social stuff on here before we start. And a quick shout out to our sponsors, Vanessa House Beer Company. Always giving us the best beer. If you're in OKC, go check them out. They're downtown. Great group of guys. Tell them the Cube sent you. And then shout out to Let's Work. If you want some really comfortable hoodies, really comfortable shorts, shirts to work out in, go hit them up. Go follow them. But yeah, with that being said, let's get this game started. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Now, Cody,
Ready.
have you played Call of Duty?
No, I'm not too much of a gamer, but look, I'll do my best here. I do my best.
That's all we care about. That's all we care about.
As long as you have fun.
Hey, I'm having
That's all we
fun
can
already.
ask for, huh?
Yeah, there. Did you like that intro?
Loved it.
I need to be the announcer for the Energy.
Yeah, I'll speak to him. I know a couple people.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. Hook it up. So, quick little thing, Cody.
Yeah.
You just retired this year. How's that going so far?
It's a. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's been an interesting transition. Still staying, close to the game as a player representative, but yeah, it's an interesting off season. There's a lot of talented free agents at the moment. So yeah, just kind of navigating that and contacting coaches and former teammates that are now coaches and technical directors and basically decision makers that are that work for these clubs, reconnecting with them, and building that relationship up. It's
Get yourself sorted. We'll be
something that I'm
deploying
passionate
shortly.
about. So I believe in the direction of soccer in the U.S. And so if I can help in any way possible, not just on the field,
dropping
I
into
want
the
to
AR.
help. So this is the avenue that I've decided to go down now.
Sorry guys, we're gonna have to go back because my remote isn't connected.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Um, but Cody, to what you were saying, I think it's cool. That you had an opportunity to build all those relationships while you were a player as well. And I think that's an important thing for anyone to keep in mind, like in their profession. You're always gonna go back. I mean, you're retiring now, but a lot of people stay around the game, and you have a lot of workplaces where you can retire and then still be around that community, or build other work around that community. And so it's cool that you were able to build those relationships,
Yep.
and now you get to foster those again, build them again, and build from there now on a different level, but still involved in the sport.
Exactly, and I think there's something to be said about you know it's not been it by no means has been easy over all these years in terms of playing. There's been people that have made decisions that have not gone in my favor. There's been people that for one reason or another just haven't necessarily had the best working relationship with. But having said that, there's something to be said about not burning a bridge here.
Yeah.
Because now I'm on the other side of it, and those same people that I've known throughout the years, um, I'll be interacting with on a daily basis. So
Oh,
there's something to be said about, hey, you know, not everything is going to go in your favor throughout the years, but can you keep a good working relationship with the bulk of the people that you do interact with? Because it inevitably will come back around. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I think.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the community is so large. There's so
yes,
many people to meet, so many people that I mean, obviously you're not always going to connect with everyone,
correct.
and so the huge, huge, huge community that you have an opportunity to connect with.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, and to add that, I think your attitude speaks volumes of who you are because you know uh, you were benched last year for unknown reasons that we don't have to talk about. Me personally, I was like the whole year last year, I was like, damn, they need to put my man in there, and so for you to keep a level head and stay close to the organization and said just not burning the bridges, it really speaks volumes of who you are. Some people would have taken that as a jab and what I'm gonna go to another team. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna have a bad attitude. But from what I've been told, you had a pretty good attitude the whole way.
Yeah, there is no scorched earth tour that I'm ever going to embark on. Look, I have a lot of
Good
great
way to say it.
friends, still on the team, and people that I have good relationships with in the front office, and who knows in the future maybe I'm in a decision making role within the organization. I'd like to be. I'm going to be here in OKC for the foreseeable future, so I think it would make sense. You know, with me being able to have that unique perspective of being a player, understanding the past of this organization, and hopefully, pushing the organization, in the right direction for many years to come. So we'll see. We'll see. But, as of right now, trying to make as many good connections within this game, both from, active players, technical directors, coaches, as I possibly can. Because, look, the game, football is the one through line with America, and America is a melting pot of culture. So it only makes sense to want to be involved in this sport.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and start the game. We're good. We're good, guys. We're good. We're good.
Let's do it.
We're good. I'm connected. And there's so much room for growth in Oklahoma for the game.
Exactly.
So much, so much. Just like esports, like we were talking
Correct.
about earlier, right? It's a whole new thing to Oklahoma. We're slowly seeing it starting to grow. I think Oklahoma soccer has been on a long, long growth path. Um, I've been here for 21 years, and from 21 years that I've got to watch the sport grow and
Yeah.
the community grow, it's been awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
So, how long have you been in Oklahoma?
I'm going on 6 years now. So I came here.
Will you tell us about like where your pro career
Oh yeah,
started and
absolutely.
how you Oklahoma?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'll take you back to my high school days. Obviously, I played club soccer growing up. I'm from Florida. Um, so Florida is a state that we play year round. I'm obviously partial, but it's probably one of the best states in terms of talent development. The likes of the Tampas, the Orlandos, the South Floridas. Man, football is king. Not American football. Soccer is king. So growing up in that environment, it definitely brought the best out of you. But I was not a
Check your gear and weapons. Planes are making
I was
ready
not
for
a
deployment.
top player by any means. You know, definitely sat the bench my fair share of weekends.
But were you always a goalkeeper?
No, I was not always a goalkeeper. What was I gonna say?
You weren't a goalkeeper?
No, I wasn't a. You know what, guys? I might be disconnected. Am I disconnected?
I think yeah, there's a little lag or like.
Oh no, his controller. I think his controller is not.
Oh no.
I think he disconnected from the. Go ahead, keep going, keep going.
Okay,
Cody,
yeah.
keep going.
So growing
The,
up,
the technical difficulties.
let's see. I don't know if I'm connected right now. Yeah, so growing up, I wasn't a goalkeeper. I played goalkeeper a little bit. I was. Okay, perfect. I didn't really start taking goalkeeper serious till high school, and the only reason I decided to play goalie was I didn't think I was going to make the team as a forward. So there was a need, and I was able to. Okay, I said, look, I'll throw me in goal, and then I started taking it more seriously. At the same time, I was playing American football. I was a tight end and a punter, and I was, really seriously thinking about going to play college football.
So you already, so those are, I think those are two key positions in football that you played that were like already transferred into soccer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. You from a tight end standpoint, you're able to work on body control, right? Obviously, hand-eye coordination, right? Spatial awareness, all these things that go into that can transfer to goalkeeping, and then obviously from the kicking side, the distribution, right? and not just distribution that you just kick it as hard as you can, but you're actually trying to place the ball. In football and punting, you call it coffin corner, right? It's that 20 yards, and in towards the end zone that you want to hit it out of bounds to make them have to go 80 yards, down the field to score. So, was really serious about playing college football, and then kind of late in the recruiting
Get
process.
yourself sorted. We'll be deploying
Late in the
shortly.
recruiting process, had an offer to go play at a junior college in rural Georgia. So I was in.
Hostile dropping into
There we
the
go.
area. Watch the
Perfect.
skies.
So go to Georgia, and
Oh, Cody's
What-
locking in. He's locking in.
I'm focused here.
He lost his train of thought.
So yeah, go to Georgia, right?
Normally we take breaks in between games just for that reason.
Right, everybody's focused, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cody. Go ahead. Finish up.
Oh, I'm out already. So I go to Georgia, right? I spent a year there, and it's just like, damn, God, good. It's one of those things where they've not sent a single player to the professional ranks. This is where I want to, what I want to do with my life, and decided it's not for me, right? So I come back to Florida and get a normal 9-to-5 job, and I'm working at an architectural firm. So I'm working at an architectural firm, 9 to 5, right? And I, by no means, am I making this sound like it's, an ideal career path, because I was the low guy on the totem pole. I was the one who, hey, go make us coffee, go do the blueprints, go, did the grunt work, right?
Yeah.
How old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah,
real quick?
I was 18. I was
18?
yeah.
Okay.
I graduated high school, not early, but I was the youngest to graduate in my class. Went to school
Okay.
and then came back within a year. So I'm out of school, and I'm working at this architectural firm, right? So I get to a point where it's just like, look, this is not where my life's trajectory or where I want it to go, right? So I'm coming home late, not being able to train.
So you still wanted to play ball even though you took that 9 to 5?
Yeah. Just make ends meet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm working there, and I'm getting to the point where it's, man, is this what I want with my life? And obviously it
Your primary objective is
made
to
a
kill 'em all.
decision where I was like, you know what, this isn't for me. So, gave them my 2 weeks, and at the same time, I'm going to school. I'm going to school at the local junior college, just trying to get some credits out of the way, and staying as fit as I possibly can, and then
Yeah.
Enemy soldier incoming.
through the network of coaches that I've had through the year, I was able to secure an opportunity in Belgium, of all places.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
So there's like a
Belgium?
whole group regrouping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I wish I would have had someone at an early age to tell me that it was okay to take a break from school
Right,
and not have to.
That's a good. You're right, because I might be I'm looking for you guys.
We need to go save Cody.
Yeah, come. Yeah.
Let's go. I have a
He's
card.
far. He's far from us. I'll walk it over there. Don't worry, Cody.
looking
Just
for you
hide.
guys. I'm sorry. I'm definitely holding you guys back here.
No.
Belgium, were you nervous at all, Cody, for that?
Oh
Or
my
scared?
gosh. Yeah, I was freaking out, man. I was like, what? Like, I remember I landed, right? And I remember this is my first real introduction to Europe, right? The people that the people that put the bags on the conveyor belt when you land in an airport, they went on strike.
Oh.
So I'm in the airport, right? After I don't know, like a 8-hour, 10-hour flight, and I'm just waiting there for hours. I'm in Brussels, just waiting in the airport for my bags for hours, and I finally get my bags, hop on a train because there's a train station that's connected to the airport. Mind you, I've never taken public transportation before. I grew up in Florida, right? So we don't have we don't have public transport in Florida,
Enemy UAV overhead.
right? So I'm in, I take the train to the complete wrong end of the country.
Oh no.
Thank God.
No.
Yeah. So the conductor, right? She spoke English. Am I running away from you guys or towards you guys? Can you tell?
I can't tell, but I'm riding a vehicle towards you.
Okay, so circle closing
Enemy
now.
UAV overhead.
Can't move.
Yeah, so I'm in there. Oh, okay, I see where you guys are at. So I get there and I'm like, I finally get to the house and
Oh, behind us. Dang.
I'm behind you.
Contact.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Teammates in the gulag.
All right, you get. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Okay.
Go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
So I get there and I'm freaking out, man.
Teammate
I
sent to
was
the gulag. They'll fight for a chance to
I'm
redeploy.
crying. I get to the house and I'm freaking out, man. I'm like, what am I doing? Is this for me? Like, it was, man. You want to talk about like without being dramatic, like a come to Jesus moment.
We're not all here.
It honestly was. I was like, hey, let's take stock of what
Enemy
the decision
UAV
I've just made,
Your
and
teammate has entered the gulag.
And you're by yourself throughout this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I'm by myself.
Or is somebody with you?
yeah, I'm by myself.
Redeployment.
I finally get picked up, right? I get picked up from the owner, actually, the owner of the club
They're
picked me up,
RTB at this time.
right? So I get picked up, and one day goes by. Okay, we're good. Then we start playing a little bit. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. And you gain, guys were there. We go. Guys were just like myself. There was a good amount of us from North America, not all, but we all, had the same goal, and the same goal was to play professional football. So we're in an environment where, we're going to school.
Teammate is redeploying. Stand by.
Okay, we're going to school, and
Go, get this launcher.
there we go. I'm with you. Get this one. Okay, cool. We're going to school during the day and we're training at
Lethal
night.
grenade here.
But it was the best experience in terms of like you meet teammates
UAV
and
overhead.
friends who like the idea of being a professional. And
Yeah,
then,
like-minded people.
But then you also, yes, you have the ones that like the idea of being a pro and the ones that are actually willing to do the dirty
UAV
work
on the bounty target. Sort them out.
to make their dreams a reality. So that was that difference.
sniper rifle.
That was that was big. That was big for me because you know
Here.
you're out of your comfort zone. Who am I getting hit by? You're out of your comfort zone. You are. There we
Bar.
go. Perfect. Why?
They're over there.
Move
Oh
it.
damn, I can't ping right now.
Have eyes on.
Cody, come towards us. There's a nice little gun over here.
I'm looking for you.
Cody, when you went to Belgium, you said you were going to school. Were you going? Was that
Taking fire.
club like? Were you required to go to school? Is that something that was going on?
Yeah. So basically, because we weren't, we didn't have our European passports, our dual citizenship. To get
Hostile maneuvering.
how do I say this? To get your EU passport in Belgium was the shortest amount of time. Right.
Okay.
So it was 3 years. That was the idea of going over to Belgium. There was an American university, an accredited American university. No. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Cody, you're our last chance right
All
here.
right. All right.
Redeem yourself. Redeem yourself.
Okay. Oh, I've been captured. All right. I won't say anything. So yeah, an American university, accredited American university over there, and training at night, going to school during the day. And I was there for 2.5 years. We're playing against grown men, right? Playing against, go to Germany, go to France, playing against these teams that are full of grown men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Cody, if you get this kill, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I got what?
You gotta kill this guy. He's behind you. Oh! Okay, it's okay.
We lost that one, but
So yeah, I'm going to school, playing during the day or playing at night, and then we're playing against grown men. So it's not a youth setup by any means. It's guys who are, maybe they have another job, right? They've played and they're older, but they're
Because that's normal in Europe.
correct. Yeah, if they're lower leagues, right? They play. They're
Yeah.
whatever their main gig is, but they're playing football on the weekends. And that was my first experience of like, okay, this isn't just a game, right? This isn't just for fun. This is how people put food on the table, right? And I was able to find that out at 18, So so finding that out at 18 was much different than I'd say the college setup is now, where you find it out at 23 or 22 or whatever. Not saying not taking anything away from college, but the earlier that you find that out, and it's like, okay, this is not all fun and games, right? It's enjoyable. I love doing it, but this is a means to an end, right? And if I'm not performing, right, that means that the money that I'm not able to make as a player, because we were paid on like a per game basis, right? It wasn't like a formal contract. It was literally okay, you played, we got a shutout, and we won. All right, here's 300 euro. That was it, right? And the that reality was great, because some guys were like, oh, all right, I can do this, and then other guys were like, whoa, I'm not into it. I'm not this pressure, right? This pressure that comes along with it. I thought it was great. Like, you're gonna fight. There is no. The talk is done, right? The proverbial talk is done. This is where rubber meets the road, man. You got to make this happen. And to understand that, or to grasp that at an earlier age was awesome. So spent 2.5 years there. Was not able to obtain my European passport, right? That was my first experience with. So you're going to the commune in a local city, right? And you're presenting them the necessary paperwork. Well, conveniently, it's, we don't know where this is, or we've misplaced this paperwork. So they made it it's more difficult, right?
Yeah.
So
this is what, we're talking 13, 12 years ago, or how old are you, sorry?
Yeah, 32. And this was this is when I was 18, 19, and 20. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was just thinking about the immigration system there,
Yes.
how you have to navigate that in a foreign country and navigate it as a player.
Correct.
Because even now, people that are thinking about going pro here, they aren't thinking about outside the U.S.
Trying to explain that to guys in terms of like, okay, I want to go play abroad. First and foremost, you only hear about the success stories of the guys that are abroad, the Pulisic's, right, the McKinneys, right, these guys that are on top of the world, right. What you don't hear, and what I would like to shine a light on, is the reality. They are the exception to the rule, right? If you're going to go over there,
Yeah.
you're going to have to prepare to, one, be out of your comfort zone, not know the language at first, not know the monetary system, the way to get around, and oh yeah, you're going to miss out on birthdays, holidays, family time, you name it, right? And that's the reality. That's when it gets like, oh, and then let's think, okay, something like football, where it isn't this ascension, this ascension of success, right? You have ups
Yeah.
and downs, right? You're gonna have ups and downs, right? And those downs are inevitable. You're gonna have those, thousands of miles away from home, thousands of miles away from your comfort bubble, right? Are you able? Do you have the fortitude? Do you have that about you to be able to accept that, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody just sees the 1%, like the guys who have the Nike deals and do the commercials and that play Champions League football. But the reality is, most football around the world is lower division football. That's the reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's things that go into that just the maybe not the untrained eye, but just the naive nature that a lot of guys take. Oh, I'm just going to go pro in Europe. Okay, that's not that simple, right? Because not only are those things that I just mentioned, but like you mentioned, right? You're going to have to be better than a local guy because they're going to spend more money on you, right? For registration fees, right? They're gonna have to go out of their way to make sure that they get your approval, your international clearance, what have you. It's not just as cut and dry as, okay, I'm just going to go over there and we're going to play. No, it's like you generally don't get an opportunity unless you play in 50% of the national team games for whatever country you represent. Because they don't they're not willing. It's not an open system. They're not willing to just say, yeah, anybody can come in. It's you have to prove yourself. You have to be you have to be like to get a visa approval. Same like it comes, coming to the States. If you're a foreigner, what sets you apart? What are your discernible skill? Why should we hire you versus this citizen or versus that citizen? So those things, that's a reality, right? And that's a reality that I learned firsthand. Now, luckily, I was over there on a student visa, going to school, right? And like I said, at the accredited university, so there's a workaround, right? But yeah, that was my first.
That's the same workaround that people around the world use to get into the U.S.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that experience, football aside, right? It was a growing experience as a human being. It was okay. Am I missing out on the quote unquote the American college experience?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that to myself after we just watched PSG play Braga in a Europa League game, and I'm standing under the Eiffel Tower, and I'm like, "There's no way I'm missing out on anything."
Yeah.
I'm gaining, right?
Yeah.
I'm gaining cultural experience. I'm immersed in a culture that is not my own, that is out of my comfort zone, right? So all these things, I'm thinking to myself, man, what a net positive. This is incredible. Like, football aside, like I enjoyed the football side, but man, like I'm gaining valuable experience that can help me in just life in general. So
Yeah.
so had that experience in Belgium. I come back to Florida, and this is where it gets uniquely American when it comes to the soccer experience, right?
The soccer from football to
Yes.
soccer.
Yeah.
So there's this stigma that players feel as if they're too good to do an open tryout. Okay, an open tryout. I am proof positive. After a 15-year career, I've done 3 open tryouts in my career. Okay.
Okay.
So I say that to say this: come back to Florida, and through one of the coaches that I've played for in the past, he sets me up with this open tryout for Puerto Rico, the Islanders at the time, and at the time they played in. This was in 2009, 2010. 2009, they lost to was it Cruz Azul in Mexico in penalty kicks in the semifinal of CONCACAF Champions League. So they're promoting the hell out of that, rightfully so. They had a great squad, right? But they're doing this open tryout in Orlando. So I pay my $150 registration fee, right? Now I'd say this, maybe
You invested $150.
bingo,
Yeah.
invested in myself.
Very smart investment.
Invested in myself, right? Taking risk, calculated risk on yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
So I go out there in 3 days and do well enough to get invited, not signed, get invited to preseason. So I'm like, great, this is all I need. I just need an opportunity. This is my opportunity, right? So come into preseason, and it was probably the most difficult preseason I've ever had. Maybe that was, I put extra stress on myself because I was like, I got to make it.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to preface it with, and like we talked about before we went on camera, you have academies now, right? You have, a ton of MLS teams. You have a ton of USL League One teams. Not a ton, but you have USL League One teams. You have a ton of USL Championship teams, right? What does that mean? That means more opportunity, right? Now, I'm not saying back in my day, but back in my day, there was a handful of MLS teams and even less NASL and USL teams, right? So
Absolutely, yeah.
So
10 years ago.
correct.
The USL wasn't formed back then, right?
It
It wasn't organized as the way it is now.
Exactly. So
It was small. I remember hearing about it, but it was very, very small.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so the idea, the thing is that that year the USL and the NASL. U.S. Soccer took both of those leagues because I think, rough estimate, I think each team had 6 teams in each, right? So it really didn't make much sense to have 2 separate leagues. U.S. Soccer steps in and they sanction it to be one league. So it's the USL teams and the NASL teams. And at this time, teams like Seattle had just gone to MLS, Vancouver, Montreal, and Portland were still in the league. The Austin Aztecs, the initial Austin Aztecs, before they moved from Austin to become Orlando City, was in the league. You had...
But you played in, right? For the Aztecs?
Yes. Yeah, but I played for the USL. The USL Aztecs.
Okay.
So they came back years later. You had Miami FC, which then turned into Fort Lauderdale Strikers, which now is Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Oh.
You had...
I didn't know that.
Yes. So you had... So where...
Played for them too, right?
I did. Yeah, I played for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
Yeah.
So that stadium where Inter Miami plays now is on the site of what used to be called Lockhart Stadium. And Lockhart Stadium, back in the day, in the 70s with the NASL, was like the place to be. It was incredible. But they hadn't made any upgrades to it since the 70s, right? So,
Yeah.
so
They just tore it down like a year ago, too.
exactly.
It took them 30 years.
Exactly.
40.
Yeah, exactly.
And David Beckham.
Yeah, and Beckham.
And Beckham. That'll do it.
So I do the tryout, I go to preseason, I earn a contract. With Puerto Rico, right? This is 2010. And at the time, Puerto Rico, what was great about them was not only were they a strong team in the NASL, but they were also the Caribbean representative in CONCACAF Champions League, right? So you talk about, big eyeballs, big opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you've been in the mix of this, like everything. Pretty much.
Yeah, I've
Was
experienced...
this goalkeeping? You were as a goalkeeper?
That's pretty.
Correct. Yeah, I've experienced a lot when it comes to the evolution of soccer in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
I signed with yeah. So I signed with PR, and for the 3 years that I was there, the first year we won the league. We beat the Carolina Railhawks, which is now NCFC. So we beat the Carolina Railhawks in the final. And then we went pretty far in CONCACAF Champions League. We played against Olympia and FAS and Toluca and the LA Galaxy. This is 2010, right? So
Yeah.
So I remember imagine leaving Puerto Rico for an away match to play Vancouver, okay? So you're going Puerto Rico to Vancouver, and then on a Saturday, and then on a Wednesday you're playing, down in Mexico City against Toluca.
Yeah.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, shit. That's like night and day. You're just like, you go from like, 25,000 to like a lot of people.
A lot of people, yeah.
A lot of freaking people. So how was that experience? Wait, did you play in, what's it called? What stadium did you guys play in? when you went to Mexico City?
Oh man, I can't remember the name of the
Is it
stadium.
Azteca?
No, it wasn't Azteca.
Oh, I was about to say,
wish.
like, oh man.
He's like, I
Sell
would
my
know.
shoes. Sell my shoes. Sell my shoes right now.
I would have known if it was Azteca, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was. I'm not sure what Toluca's stadium name was.
Which is pretty impressive now. I don't know if you've seen the new stadium they have.
I've not recently.
Yeah, I think they're backed by Under Armour, so
Yes.
they some big money behind it.
They
Which-
were Under Armour when we were there.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. So yeah, their stadium is nice.
Okay.
I want to say it has this like Liverpool feel to it.
Okay.
And so I like it. I definitely
Okay.
one of the stadiums I want to go to. Which, talking about Mexican teams, we had somebody ask on the chat, how was the experience playing against
Against who?
Chivas?
Oh, so with
But you got to play against several Mexican teams though.
I have, yes.
Luca, Chivas.
I don't. No, I tell you what, I didn't play. I didn't play against Chivas when they were here. I got the night off. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Interesting,
But you played
interesting.
against Pachuca, right?
Yes, I played against. I think I played half. I believe. I can't remember. But yeah, like that. Those all these experiences, right? Are just like. And just full disclosure, it's like we're not on the financial par as Liga MX, right? Financially, right? Because
Right.
Yeah.
So to be able to still share the field with these guys is like, it's phenomenal. But yeah, so you're again. I think the overriding theme here is success, or whatever you deem success, generally doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Right? You have to kind of put yourself out there. You have to invest in yourself, and hope. Not hope. I don't say hope, but backing yourself enough to know that if you put yourself out there, things will work out the way they should. And it's a windy road. It's not this upward trajectory of success. It's definitely something that you have to be open to. Definitely moving to other places. You got to be open to. Look, earlier on, interpersonal relationships within, for friends and, females, that definitely took a back seat, to really keep the main thing, which is to kind of build a career. So you do have to be open to these things. But I think if you're open to them and you're obviously able to perform when the lights are on, then good things happen. Good things happen. So yeah, so played in PR for those 3 years. That brings me up to 2013. Get a call right before Christmas. Hey, the team's folding, and I'm like, man, okay.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, that's rough.
Okay, so I get on the phone and I'm speaking with former coach of mine, and I'm saying, hey, do you guys need a goalkeeper? No, we don't need a goalkeeper, our first choice, but we need a backup. So. But before we offer you anything, we want to bring you into preseason, right? So this is coming off the back of 3 years where I wasn't necessarily the starter, but I now have league experience and CONCACAF Champions League experience, right? That I can offer a team, but it didn't matter to them, right? I come in, I have zero leverage, right? I am in need of a contract. They have the contract. Okay, I have to prove my worth. So. I go into preseason with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and do well enough to secure a contract, and as I'm the backup to start the season, and get an opportunity to start a game against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and get into a really nasty injury collision that actually it lacerated my kidney. So. Yeah, I took a knee right to the back. So I can imagine if you're a boxer, right, and the kidney shot, right, that normally takes the guy down, right? Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal. So after all that hard work, all the twists and turns, if you will, right, finally get an opportunity, and then 35 minutes into the game, it's like boom, done. 10 months, right? In 10 months, I think I had 3 surgeries. I think it was in and out of the hospital, a total of like, I'd say I was probably in the hospital a collective amount of time for about a month over that 10-month period, right? Had a tube coming out of my back. It was bad, man.
Damn.
It It was bad. It was bad. It was a pain that I don't wish on my worst enemy. That's
Yeah.
probably the best way I can explain it. So and and at that point it's total life change, right? I'm used to being active. I'm used to being outside, training,
Yeah.
sweating, diving around. Can't do any of that. Can't do any of that,
Yeah.
right? So you kind of all right. How can I fill these hours? How can I what else am I interested in, right? And that's when I started getting into I wasn't the best student, but I like to learn.
Yeah.
So start listening to podcasts. Start reading books. What else am I interested in? Okay, how else can I spend my time? Not just the athletic side, right? How can I better
Yeah.
myself as a person?
What year is this?
13.
2012-ish?
Thir-
13? Okay.
14.
2013. Yeah. So long, we'll fast forward. We'll get through all that 10-month rehab that went into it because it wasn't like a broken bone or a tear or anything like that.
Yeah, ligaments is
Yeah,
different than
yeah,
bones. It's
correct.
like they don't really they take forever to heal, and sometimes they don't even heal
Right.
at all.
Right.
There's just nothing you can do about it. It's not like a bone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're talking, vital organs here, and it's like okay,
Yeah.
it's not like if you because I've done my knee before, right? And it's not like okay, range of motion. Let's get one degree better, or let's get our range of motion 1 degree better is constitutes progress, right? That you can't put a percentage. I'm this percent better on a kidney, right? You just have to
On the
kind of
kidney.
accept
That's
it.
scary. That's a scary injury.
Yeah.
During those 10 months, did you think like, yo, like, screw this, I'm done? Like, or not that you were done because you wanted to, but you were kind of like, shit, I don't know. Because like you said, you don't know. You can't put a percentage on it, so you're kind of like, am I going to be better? Am I going to play better? Am I going to, are you going to play scared? Because I know with like ligaments, you go, or any injury really, you go back into the field, regardless of what sport it is, and you're kind of like, well, they're doing this long ball. Normally I would jump up and get it. This guy's coming at me, but now it's kind of like, oh shit. I don't know if I should. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Did that ever go through your mind, or?
You bring up a great point, and that's one I want to hit on before I talk about my own personal experience. There's an aspect to recovery when it comes to injuries that is not just physical. Okay, so if anybody is watching, if anybody in the chat is a professional or if anybody is an aspiring professional or not even professional, but just an athlete, right? If you are coming back from injury, there is a physical side of a doctor saying, yeah, you're cleared to play, right? Or a physical therapist saying, yeah, you're cleared to play. But most importantly, there is a mental aspect to knowing that you're okay. Because I'm telling you from experience, right? Especially with the knee, right? Going into a challenge as a goalkeeper, sliding in at somebody's feet, and knowing that they might jump over me or they might hit me and in that area, that's a hurdle that you have to get over in your mind. So you physically may be okay and they might clear you, but there is a mental return to play that you have to go through, right? Exactly, because like you said, if there's a 50-50 challenge and it's in my mind, any shadow of doubt is in my mind, I might not go through that challenge 100%, right? I might hold off. I might shy away.
That's where you get injured because
Bingo.
if you're not playing 100%, and if you play, because I didn't grow up playing football or soccer. I was more of a football person, but
Okay.
I always noticed that when people were scared, no matter how big you are, how fast you are, if you go in there with contact and you're not ready to just kill someone, pretty much, that sucks to say, but if you're not ready to lay it down, you're going to get hurt.
It's the truth.
No matter how big or how small you are. So I'm pretty soccer, football. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
part of my French, but it's a mind fucker.
It
You're
is.
like, oh damn.
No, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right.
Which is crazy because a lot of people don't know. I don't know if a lot of people know about that or. Because you're pretty good with the fans, you talk to people and you like the first game of the energy game, you were out there in the supporter group.
Yeah.
But ever since you came to the energy, it's like you bring that physicality in the box.
Yeah.
And
Ball comes
Cody,
in
real quick,
my mind.
has this been Has this been the biggest injury in your career so far, or has, there's been other injuries every now and then that you kind of just had kind of the same feeling for?
Yeah. So, well, the kidney was definitely the most time consuming is not the right word, but the life altering. The kidney was definitely the most life altering because it's an organ, right? And I don't know if that's going to lead to long term issue, right? Like you'll
Yeah,
have.
that's something I was gonna bring up because, I know we're talking about kind of getting back to it, but I think longevity, just your health,
Yeah, of course.
uh,
Has that come up with recently?
No, like physically, I've never had any issues. Um, I had a procedure done that alleviated any further complications. As I age, but thank God that nothing ever came of it. It healed correctly. It healed properly. But it was definitely something going through that. Man, I don't wish anybody have to go through that because it sucked.
Quick question
Yeah.
for the people watching that, maybe are going through what you're going through, or maybe they have kids. I know McLovin. He's got a kid that I was coaching.
Okay.
He was on our soccer team, but all those procedures, all the rehab, does that come from your pocket, or is there like a contract where the teams take care of you? Because I know now I feel like there's more organization,
Right.
but back then it's like you get hurt, but they don't have the MLS funding, and MLS funding even now it's kind of a joke when it comes to other organizations.
Right.
No, nothing bad saying about
Oh
MLS. I
no.
think they're going the right track, but with pays that bill? Who's taking
So
care of all that?
So generally, and that's a good question because we've been kind of fighting for personal insurance for players because most teams don't offer personal insurance. Now, we're talking like dental, we're talking vision, we're talking stuff like that. Now, if it happened on field, which these injuries happened on field, then the club that you play for picks up the bill, right? But
Ah.
but let me preface it with if you break your arm and you are screwing around, with the buddies in the neighborhood throwing the football around or something like that. That's not on them, right? That's not an injury that took place on the field at the workplace.
Yeah, practice field or
Exactly.
Shout out insurance.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But
Allstate. We need
Yeah.
that. We need that.
Yeah.
We need that.
That's sponsorship.
What's it called? Sponsorship from Allstate.
Yeah. But that brings up a point of the lifestyle of a pro. The lifestyle of a pro is not it's not as flashy as people. Maybe it is from a Premier League, La Liga standpoint, right? Bundesliga.
Yeah.
But the reality is that it's pretty boring, and it has to be. It has to be because you can't be out there, putting your body at risk, harm's way, right? Because of the health aspect, right? And generally you can't be out, wasting your energy because your energy has to be focused day in and day out on training, right? So
Yeah.
you come home from training, and look, I was not like this as a player. I like to get out. I like to go into the community. I like to meet up with people, have a coffee, hang
Yeah.
out. But honestly, that was the extent. That was the extent of it. I'm not going to go, go ride dirt bikes with a buddy or go, let's go,
Yeah.
let's go wakeboarding. I'm not doing any of that.
What about
Kinda
disc
like,
golfing?
Disc golfing? Oh, you want to bang some chains or what?
And it's crazy to think that because like I don't know if you've heard about it, but like the Chiefs quarterback Mahomes, he signed like this multi-million-dollar like 10-year
Yep.
contract, but in the contract it says you can't play pickleball, in your neighborhood. You can't snowboard, you can't, boogie board, you can't surf, like,
Yep.
and so it's kind of like, oh man, like it's in the contract, you can't do it, you
Yep.
just can't do it.
Any activity that's deemed any
Uh-huh.
risky activity. That's the reality. But look, by no means are we calling him a victim, right? Like,
Yeah, no, shoot, hey,
No. 100
yeah,
million,
Chiefs,
whatever.
he's got.
I was going through for 100K,
Yeah.
50K, shoot, Chiefs, hit me up.
He's got 500 million reasons to be okay with it.
Yeah, it's be okay, yeah. No, that makes sense for sure.
But
No, that's
But yeah, so we were at what was it, Fort Lauderdale, 2013. So
Yeah, yeah.
recover from this injury, and here's another reoccurring theme, right, of investing in yourself. Carlos Bocanegra was Captain America. He had a great career. He was promoting on Twitter a identification camp for current and aspiring professionals out in Upland, California. So talk about literally paying your dues.
Yeah.
Pay the $150 or $99 registration fee, get the flight out to LA, put myself up in the hotel, get a rental car. And it was one of the better things that I did because I was one of 40 players and I was the one with professional experience.
Nice.
So
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah. So
And then did that lead to LA Galaxy?
So I was approached by a scout that was there. They said it's not been formally announced yet, but we are going to field a USL squad, LA Galaxy 2. We'd like you to come into the invite-only combine the next week. Now, mind you, I'm going from Orlando to LA, right? So I'm going cross country.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's Sunday. Look, or excuse me, it was like Saturday night. Listen, I will, but I obviously have to fly home first, right? I can't stay out here all week. No problem. All right. So fly back to Orlando, fly back to LA. That weekend, invite-only combine. I want to say they picked up like 3 or 4 of us. They after the weekend was over, they said, look, we really like you. Go back to Orlando, go back to Florida, and Bruce Arena will give you a shout. Because at the time, the first team was about to go into preseason, and they had 3 goalkeepers, but they were thinking about taking a 4th. So I land, and within like an hour, Orlando to Melbourne, where I'm from, Melbourne, is about an hour away, right? So we get home to my parents' house, and probably within a half hour of me being home, I get a call from Bruce Arena. And he's saying, Cody, we want to bring you in for preseason. You're gonna fly back. We're gonna fly you out here on Tuesday. It was like a Sunday, and when I tell you, like the wave of emotion
Yeah.
after a calendar year before then, I was in a hospital bed.
That's crazy. That's
Right?
crazy.
I was in a hospital
Before
bed.
you?
Yeah. And to have Bruce Arena, right, call me and say, hey, we're bringing you into preseason in a matter of 365 days, right, was just something that, happy tears. I'm, hugging my mother, hugging my father. We're just like, over the moon excited for this. So.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for real.
Exactly. So I go into preseason and have a great experience with the first team, and that year was great. Unfortunately, the way the USL 2 teams are set up is if you're an affiliate with a MLS team, especially if you're in the same market like LA Galaxy 2 or I say FC Dallas probably does this with North Texas.
North Texas.
Right?
Yeah.
If you are a first team guy and you don't get minutes on the weekend, they're going to drop you down and you're going to play.
Send you down.
Right?
Yeah.
So that happened with me where it was like you train all week. All right, let's prepare for this opponent. And then, all right, we're playing on Sunday. The first team played last night and they're going to drop down 6 guys to play. And by no fault of your own, it's not like you trained like shit the whole week. It's just, they have
Pecking order.
Exactly. So I experienced a little bit of that, which was okay.
So let me ask you this, which is something that I've been thinking about for about a year or two. So, you have I call them, in my mind, true USL teams, like the Energy.
Yes.
Right? And then what would be another one?
San Antonio.
Aren't they linked with Houston?
I don't believe so.
No? So they're on a...
I don't think so, but they do utilize. There are a lot of teams, especially this year, and I attribute it to COVID. They're using loaned MLS players, right? Because they don't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they don't cost the USL
Yeah.
team anything.
Yeah. I mean, the USL team's gonna be like, fuck yeah, we're gonna get this.
Of course.
5-star player. Yeah, send them your way.
Yeah.
So, the one thing that I would say that's kind of like hurting teams like the true USL teams like Energy, San Antonio, is those second MLS teams. like Sporting Kansas to Colorado has what, the Switchbacks, right? They're
They,
the same.
Colorado Switchbacks, but they do have a pretty tight partnership with Colorado, with the
Colorado,
Rapids.
the Rapids, right? And then you got LA Galaxy
Yep.
too. And then what's the other one? You have all these teams. So do you think these true USL teams are at a disadvantage? Because like you see them playing these.
Well, they have to because of the funding, right?
Yeah, right. Because you can't like you look at even North Texas, they're League One. They're not even champions, but they're still able to put up a fight because
Right.
FC Dallas, whatever is not playing on that field, like Ricardo Pepi. I don't know if you've been
Yes.
keeping up
Yeah,
with
yeah.
him. He was on North Texas
Yep.
and he was killing it.
Right.
Like he was playing on League One, which is he's a
First team
MLS
player.
player,
Right.
yeah, and he was just balling out. So do you think there should be in the future like a cap saying, you know what, kind of like that three international MLS, there should be like a cap of saying, you know what, there can only be three MLS players going down, because then for like a team like the Energy, you can't compete the market.
Correct.
Regardless of how, I think our coach that we have is great. I think the players that we have are good. LA Galaxy too, Atlanta United last week.
Right.
It's like, what is it to say that they don't send Jurgen Damm, who was playing for Tigres like 6 months ago?
Right.
They play him against the Energy. It doesn't matter who you put up against him. He's gonna dust them. He's
Right.
like one of the fastest
Right.
soccer players in the. I think there should be something like a contingency of saying, you know what, you guys have, maybe they can only play 3 games a season under.
So there. I'd say only because I know about this from a players association standpoint, that is a topic of conversation, because you talk about competitive disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Where, like you said, it's like, all right, at the last minute, and in 2013, I believe, I say famously or notoriously, whatever you want, however you want to phrase it, Orlando City did this with Dom Dwyer. Dom was playing for Kansas City. He was going back and forth, but he was with Kansas City for a lot of the year. And then in the final, Orlando City's playing in the final. They bring him in. So you talk about, it's like a hired gun, right? He goes and scores
Yeah.
four or five goals in the final, right? He's,
Yeah.
they win the championship. Not saying that without him they wouldn't have, but that's 4 or 5 goals that guy who has the MLS experience that comes and brings it down, who hasn't been with the team all year, or a lot of the year, you're able to utilize. What I think needs to happen is, I truly believe that the MLS is going to take the league, the MLS 2 teams, and they're going to have their own league. They're going to have their own reserve league, right? And
Yeah.
Okay.
what will happen is there will be, because let's think about this, I don't know off the top of my head how many or MLS 2 teams there are in the USL Championship.
Atlanta, Portland, Seattle.
I don't think Portland has a team.
Well, aren't they they changed their.
No, they're not doing that. They didn't field a team this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're Portland too. But Seattle has one, right? It was called like, changed their name to like.
So Seattle's Tacoma.
Yeah, that one. That
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
But like
I
teams
think
like
there's maybe like 5.
Orlando City B is no longer, right? Philly Union 2 is no longer. Those teams, I believe, this is just my belief, that MLS will start a reserve league, and then the standalone franchises that are in the USL will be able to prop the league up itself with the addition of a couple expansion teams and possibly a couple of the League One teams coming up. And I truly believe that is the U.S.'s fast track to promotion relegation. That's the only way.
Yeah.
That's the only way that I could see it happening, because it's not going to happen in MLS. If we're all owners of an MLS franchise and we have to shell out, what's the going rate, like $200-300 million? And I'm going to pay into that with the possibility of having a bad year and losing not only sponsorship dollars but TV revenue, right? Other competition revenue, right? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
There's no way. So I don't see MLS ever saying, okay, yeah, let's institute this promotion relegation. I see the USL being able to do it Whereas, the figures to own a franchise are much lower. Don't get me wrong, it's still freaking expensive, but the operating costs are much lower. I just think from a general excitement standpoint, the USL can market the hell out of that. And they could say, look, like we have true promotion and relegation, what everybody wants in the footballing world here in America. Everybody wants promotion and relegation.
Now they have their own academy.
Yeah.
Not tournament, but league.
Yes.
And then MLS has it too, but they're only doing.
Yes. Yeah. So the infrastructure the infrastructure is miles better than it was 10 years ago, right? The growth of the sport is incredible. Which leads to more opportunity, which means more guys are going to be able to play professionally and have good careers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think from a USL standpoint, yes, I'm biased, right? This is where I spent most of my, if not, most of my career at the USL level,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot.
Can you come back? Can you come back, please? Please, sir.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. The offer would have to be like something I can't turn down. I don't see that happening. So.
If you're watching on QB Sports, let's raise some funds for Cody to come back. We can pay you in beer.
Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
Let's start it right now.
I know. With that, let's get a couple games in real quick. Cody, thank you so much, man, for spending this time and letting us know, the ins and outs of
There's awesome stuff. There's stuff that I don't think anybody
knows.
really thinks about. I don't know. It's all enlightening stuff.
Hey, Jose, do you like my soccer knowledge?
I was like, where? This guy likes history. I was like, I know he likes history, but how does he know all these people? How does he know all this?
His off days is what he does.
Hey, and
Studies the game.
I spend too much time at the cube, man. I got 2 monitors, man. I can game on one and do history on the other one, Do some cryptocurrency on the other one, do some things on the other one, mine some Bitcoin on this one. I can do it all. I edit my videos on this one, make beats on the other one. We're good. I'm a man of many talents.
And let me let everybody know if anybody's watching and it does have any questions about the industry, the professional soccer world. I'm free to talk, man. Hit me up. I'll do my best to get back to you. Honestly, there's no stupid question because I have experienced a lot and I want to pay it forward. So if anybody out there is interested or wants to learn more, please don't hesitate.
Well, Cody, we'll have to talk. Oh, Cody, we'll have to talk some more because one of the things that one of my long-term goals is to become a player agent, but obviously I have no clue of what that would even look like. And so, yeah, I need to be in that space more and get to meet some more of those people. And so, yeah, that's definitely something that I'd like to talk to you more about.
Absolutely. I am getting lit up right now.
I know, so was I. That's one of the things about playing and talking that the first couple times it's like, how do I even do this?
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, huge props to all the streamers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're done warming up. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
And people that are making millions doing things like this and playing games. And I watch one guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he's got like screens all above his head and around him, and he's just like,
Multitasking.
Yeah, it's a whole different multitasking. Where we going, engineer?
Let's go. All right, Cody. So wherever I ping, that's where you're gonna jump. You're gonna land with us. Okay, let's go here, right there.
Right over here. I like these choppers better than that big old plane.
Has a better feel to it, huh?
Yeah, it does. I feel like
Yo, Cody, what is your favorite
more military-like.
restaurant? Give me 3 top restaurants in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah,
top
good
3.
question.
Okay, Osteria? You guys ever been to Osteria?
No, I don't even know where that's at.
Okay.
Talk to me, player. Talk to me.
Osteria is it's over in.
It sounds exotic.
Yeah, it's off of Western.
Western? Western what?
I'm trying to think. Shoot. Where?
Targets are up. Get to work.
Western, and it's over in like Nichols Hill in the Nichols Hills Plaza.
Yeah, like
area.
40th, 50th kind of area.
Yeah, something like that's
Your teammate was sent to the Gulag. They'll fight for a chance.
Dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead.
Don't worry, I already died a long time ago.
okay. What?
What, dude? Seriously.
So
Well, the
Osteria
best,
or
best spot to
Osteria?
land.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I like oh man, what's the one in the? It's in the Paseo.
Is it Empires?
Oh, Empire's fantastic pizza, but
Teammates in the Gulag.
We still need to take Jose to that. We've been telling
know,
Jose that
I'm
we're gonna take him to
waiting.
Empires for like 2-3 years.
oh dude, Empire's fantastic. Empire's fantastic. Where else? It's in. Oh, this is annoying. I can't. If anybody in the chat is local,
Teammate has
please.
been cleared for redeployment.
It's a newer restaurant in the plaza.
Plaza.
No, excuse me, the Paseo. The Paseo.
So, is it next to the other room, the bar over there?
It's no, it's not.
Is it Café de Cacao?
No, Cafe Cacao's great.
Popping smoke grenade.
Cafe Cacao's great. Oh, this is gonna annoy me. I'll figure it out.
You got to Google that one for us.
Landing on here? Oh, damn. Cody died over there.
Damn.
Operation Bring Cody Back is a go.
I didn't know he was that far.
I know. He let it fall.
How am I missing?
Seven
How am I
forever.
going so far away from you guys?
I don't know, man. I'm starting to think you don't like us, man.
No, I love you guys.
He's going so far. So yeah, I mean, you've lived in a lot of interesting places. You know, Florida. You got L.A.
Yep.
Friggin' Belgium. So what is your favorite one? And my guess is only Oklahoma because you're still here and you want to invest, your time on here. But
Right.
what has been your favorite one?
You're in the Gulag now. Fight to earn
Hard to beat.
redeployment.
Like obviously, I love it here. Love it in Oklahoma City. People have been great. Obviously, I've been fortunate enough to. Oh man, I am locked up here, aren't I? To settle down here, to meet my wife here. But
lose, your fight is over.
Oh, she's an Okie?
Originally she's from San
Time to earn
Antonio.
your freedom, soldier.
But are you kidding me?
Got roughed up in there. We're bringing you home.
There's 3 knocked up here.
I got him. Good one.
Yeah, there's
game can be
another one.
frust-
Yeah, he's
This,
still up
this
there,
game
he's
can be
still
frustrating,
up there.
Cody. This game can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Killed the other one.
Right there.
Reloading.
You got him?
Nope.
Oh, he beating me up. He beating me up like he shook Knight.
I'm going around,
Oh, God.
No, he killed me.
Oh, JR kid. But yeah,
Dang.
what's your favorite one?
Hard to beat Puerto Rico, man.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
My wife and I visited Puerto Rico, and she was like, "We need to move here." Like, absolutely.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. We lived right across the street from the beach, so we'd go to training. We'd get home by noon, and then we'd be on the beach, walking because in Isla Verde, a part of Puerto Rico, we live real close to Old San Juan. And, it's kind of like a crescent-shaped beach, so we just walk up and down that beach. And I was 22 years old, right? So what do we all do when we're 22-year-old, right? We chase after chicks,
Yeah.
right? So, and PR is an example of everybody's there on vacation, right? Such a proud culture of people that live there, and such a warm, loving culture to begin with, and then top that with like people are coming there to have a great time, to party, to really like enjoy the beach, enjoy the the sights, this El Moro, to enjoy
Yeah.
Old San Juan, places that have culture.
But can you dance though?
Oh no, no. I would not lie. I would not lie. Yeah, some bachata. Yeah, exactly.
I put some bachata on here and see if my man can dance. We need more beer. We need more beer.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
Practice while you can. We're deploying soon.
yeah.
So life in Puerto Rico was pretty good then, and then Florida. You know, were you pretty close to the beach? Because I mean, I'm not too familiar with Florida and,
Yeah,
all this.
growing up in Florida, I'm from Melbourne, and Melbourne is it's a small. It's like we have the mainland, and then we have you take the bridge or the causeway across to the beach side, and it was like I don't know,
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes. Are you guys landing right now? You just landed? All right.
Yeah, this is a
Pre-workout,
pregame.
though.
And warm up. This is warm up right here.
Little pre-workout. Got your groove. Cody, do you go to the games pretty often?
The energy games? Yeah. Like I said, I got a bunch of
Got you.
friends. I got a bunch of friends that are still on the team, and obviously I care.
Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
I care about the organization as a whole. So,
Yeah.
I'm nothing but supportive of those guys.
But have you been to like OU games or SU games?
Ooh, no, not yet. I need to.
No.
That's an energy thing, cause that's
Don't tell
the
me.
same thing.
Hold on. In 6 years that you've been in Oklahoma, you haven't been to one?
All right. You got to think about what do we talk about in terms of like the lifestyle, right? And when
No.
You got to listen, man.
No.
College football goes on at the same time that we play,
All
right?
right, Cody, we're gonna take
Don't
it to
blame
OU
him,
game.
don't blame
him,
We're gonna
don't
take
blame
it to
him.
OU game.
Nice spot.
This year, I'm gonna take you and Zach.
Perfect.
Is coaching in your future, Cody, or no?
Say it again.
Is coaching in your future or no? Not something you've considered.
Maybe. I don't. I really don't know. It's such a volatile profession, that
And do you mean, sorry, Junior, do you mean coaching like at a professional level, or high school, college, or just
Any
like
level.
coaching in
I
general?
say any level, coaching in general.
Because you do some private trainings.
Yeah, I do private trainings. I like to have the one-on-one.
An enemy team is hunting you. Stay alert.
Yeah, so I like to do the one-on-one session because I don't like I don't particularly care for the parental politics that go into youth sports.
Oh,
that's
dude,
rough.
those are the
That's rough.
worst. Jesus.
Yeah,
That's rough.
Oh
You know.
my God. Especially, I feel like it's really bad in Oklahoma though. Like sports is like king, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in other states, but fuck, here it's like so much drama. I'm just
Oh yeah, and it's not. Look, I understand. I get the idea of like everybody thinks their kid is going to be the next, big thing, right? But that's not living in reality. And if I can use sport to help build confidence in their son or their daughter, whatever happens in terms of like, professionally, I could care less with that, man. I'm more interested in.
Bounty target has been found.
As soon as I
You landed far. You landed real far from us.
man.
I like that idea of, or like your philosophy behind the coaching,
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah, look, I use football as the tool, but the reality is, can I help their son or daughter feel more confident about themselves in school? Can I help them feel more confident in social settings? Can I help them, with their self-belief in themselves through sport? That's something that's how I look at it, right? The sport itself is that's the how do I say this?
You win this fight and you return to the front line.
That's
If you
the,
lose, you're done here.
That's kind of how I
Sort 'em out
use
or
it to get
capture the
through
objective.
through to the kids. It's not something that it's the end all be all. Like you have to go pro or my job is incomplete. It's how can I possibly help this young person? My
Worth for
God,
wear. You're heading back to base.
I am terrible. How can I help this young person kind of achieve, become the best version of themselves? And if that's through coaching, if that's through spending time with them, if that's through helping them realize their own potential, then that's when I know, I've done a good job.
Cody, just like really random thought, but I think you should have a podcast.
Well, so I'm in the early stages of doing one, and it does center.
Really?
Yeah. So
You got a great voice for it, by the way. just
Yeah,
letting
for
you know.
real, bro. You got this like light skin
Great voice.
voice that's just like, and I mean that in the nicest of ways.
Hey.
You got this light skin voice that I'm like, damn, this man knows what he know. Take my money, take my money.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. No, so we are working on one. Myself and another goalkeeper who's currently unattached to a professional team as well. Not just shared experiences in terms of from a professional standpoint and kind of shedding a light on the reality, not just the perception of being a pro, but most importantly the mental side of it and the ups and downs that you go through, the peaks and valleys. We pull the curtain back, if you per se, and because a lot of people are struggling, man. A lot of people are struggling, and
No doubt.
if we can I think it's important to let people know that they're not the only ones that are going through things. And it's also important to not have this, this air of invincibility to yourself, because everybody struggles with shit. Everybody,
Mental health.
Mental health is important.
health.
And look, I've tried to make sure that okay, I play soccer for a living, or I played soccer for a living, but that's not who I am. It's what I do. And a lot of guys, I think, they struggle with it when it comes to the end of, oh, well, this is all I know. And I don't have any other discernible skills. I don't, what else can I provide? How else can I be, a positive contributing member to society? And that's something that I want to make sure that, it's great to be a professional, but it's going to end, and you're going to be a person much longer than you're going to be a professional athlete. So, take interest in doing other things, in interacting with other people, in, kind of ironing out what else you're interested in, and not just put so much emphasis on your football, because I know people that are older people, middle-aged people that have only known football their entire life. They've gone from player to be a coach, and if football is going great on a Monday, then they're great, and if it's going shit on a Tuesday, then they're terrible to be
Then
around.
they're not great.
It's like that's not how you
tough.
want to live life, man. That's not how we want to live life. So yeah, long story short, we're working on compiling a bunch of episodes and speaking with current and former players, and not just on the men's side but on the women's side as well, and kind of breaking down the perception versus the reality, which is different. So but thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I think you got great points. Jokes aside, yeah, you do have a great voice for it, but I think you do. You're very thoughtful about everything that we've talked about, and you listen. You you pay attention, and if you can help
Absolutely.
editing, whatever it is that you out and see how that is. You're always welcome here at QB
Thank
Sports. It's your second home, and we're gonna show you mad love. For me, it's awesome to have you in here, just because I'm from here. So it's like, for me, it's like, oh shit, man, like Cody hit me back, hell yeah, dude. I had a lot of people hit me up and were like, oh shit, how'd you do that? I was like, fuck, I don't know. It was like, it just happened. But yeah, man, I greatly appreciate you coming on, and yeah, we can help you with the podcast, and if you have to use one of the rooms, always hit us up. Don't be shy.
Hey, and I have to say as well, first and foremost, I appreciate you guys having me here. This is totally
course.
out of this is out of my realm, and if anybody who does know me, they know that I'm not a gamer per se, but look, I'm open to learn, and obviously I'm not shown very well this evening, but I've enjoyed every second of this. I'm definitely interested in learning more about the business side of it. So if anybody is out there, if I can help, connect, be the bridge for two people, then I'd love to do that.
Are you pretty close with Rafa? Because he was in LA or LA Galaxy, and then you were in LA Galaxy. So did you guys know each other before he came here?
Yeah. So Rafa was actually the captain of LA2. So he was on the first team. right? But like we talked about, he was one of the first team guys that if they didn't get minutes, he was coming down to play,
Did.
right? And got to know Rafa really well. And he's just somebody who, have you guys interacted with him much?
No.
No.
Really?
Is he back in LA?
Yeah, but he was here last week, right? And he is just
Really?
somebody. He's not enough words in my vocabulary to say positive things about this man, because from how he is as a teammate, how he is on the field, that's how he lives life, right? He is passionate, and I got a lot of time for people like that, right?
I'm gonna get shit for this, but we miss him. Well, I miss him at least on the field.
Look, you cannot quantify. How do you quantify heart? You don't. You can't.
Yeah.
That is not something that decision makers can look at and say, all right, they can check your touch, right? They could see, okay,
Yeah.
because right now, and I have personal feelings about this. They have these the GPS trackers, right? And
Right.
people place such emphasis on it, right? When they really should be placing emphasis on how you're spending time off the field. What else are you, how else are you being a good teammate within the locker room? And there's a lot of emphasis that's placed on, okay, I ran the furthest.
And real quick for our viewers right now, if you're not into soccer, pretty much these trackers are these like these things. They go in like this little bra, and you put them on under your jersey, or you can put them over your jersey, and they track everything. They track speed. They track how long you've been running.
Distance.
They track distance. And from that, coach can say, well, this guy's scientifically.
I would get exposed real quick.
No, Jose, not with your heart. You got a big heart, but you're a fighter. You're a fighter. But from the coach's perspective, for more modern coaches, it's like they're gonna say, well, he has lactic acid buildup, so we're going to rest you.
Yes.
But the player might be like, no, fuck that. Play me. Like I'm good. But I can see both coins.
Yes.
On both sides of the coin on that.
And so I say that to the point I'm making with Rafa as a human is the phrase, they don't make him like they used to. He is that. He is that, because you go on the field with that man, you're amplified in the sense of he's going to give his all and he's going to fight for you.
Oh yes.
Right. So I'm going to do the same damn thing. Right. I'm amped up just knowing that we're sharing the field together. And he brought that same intensity, that same drive, that same desire to be the best possible player, teammate. That is rare because it's a selfless mentality in a team sport. There is a video, and I'm telling you, every now and again I see it. I want to say it was from like 2015, maybe 16. He made a 90 yard run to stop a goal.
Yeah, I remember that.
I seen that.
So that encapsulates him as a human, right?
That puts him on like when Rooney did that just recently. I'm like Rafa and Rooney right there.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was what, 2012,
I want to say
11?
No, I think that was after I left. I think that was like 15, 16-ish. I'm pretty sure.
And I feel like, again, this is just my opinions. People can shit on me all they want.
That's okay.
But I feel like he wasn't, I don't want to say respected, but I feel like he wasn't shown the love because he brought that, like, gritty, like, attitude, like, yo, we're going, we got to win.
Right.
There's winning and losing. There's no moral victories. We're going to fucking win. And so he would get into your face whether you were from the other team or whether you're on your team. And I feel like, again, people are going to shit at me, but I feel like you need that on a team, and that's something that we might be lacking this year as far as, like, that leadership of, like, yo, get your shit together.
Right.
Get shit done.
I think, and this is, I won't speak because I don't know the locker room. I know there are guys that have that in them, but that is something that is that's important. You need a midfield enforcer, right? Because especially let's use Taft Stadium as an example, right? Look, I'll come out and say it. This might be controversial, but the guys don't want to play on Taft. They don't.
Yeah.
No. Who wants to? Who wants to? It's a narrow pitch. It's artificial. It's bouncy. There's very little home field advantage.
Yeah.
Not to make an excuse or anything, but do you feel that isn't that really cuts people like the way that people play.
Oh, 100%.
Like Zach when he plays away games.
Yeah.
I mean, he still balls out
Right.
when he's playing at home, but whenever he's playing away, like you truly see like, oh shit, like that boundary that right boundary, he's gonna fucking control that and use everything that he has. But when you go to Taft, it's like, and for you guys that
That's
are
interesting.
not from OKC, OKC is the only USL or I think any professional team that plays with a American football field length or width. I mean,
Yes.
it's
Well,
short.
yeah, it's what is it, 60 something wide, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
what is football today? Football is pass, 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 build
Pass,
out, right?
pass, pass.
Everybody wants to build out from the back. Okay. But you have to keep in perspective that field does not accommodate that. And the success that we've had since I've been here, the only success that we've ever had has been pin the other team in their own end, play for field position, take the first 15 to 20 minutes of a match, and put it in the opponent's head that shit, I got 90 plus minutes on this turf field, right? And we're already playing,
Yeah.
So the psychological aspect of the game kicks in, right? And that is something that has been lacking. And has been lacking not just this year, but it's been lacking for a while, because this idea or this concept of everybody has to play out of the back, and we have to control possession. And yes, when the field allows for it, this field, the pitch, and this is not making excuses. This is the reality. Is
Yeah.
not conducive to possession-based football, right?
Pretty much playing inside soccer.
Correct.
Or soccer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to dig in a little deeper, and I want to ask you this about your training sessions.
Yeah.
Because in training sessions and just through the social media that we have seen on Energy's page, I have never seen, and I don't know, maybe it's not something that professionals do, but even extend the field to just do like a shadow 11v11 movement, because your practice pitch is a lot bigger than
Correct.
it's regulation size.
Correct.
Compared to what you're playing on. So was that something that ever happened in training, or is that, because that's still something that has maybe affected you even just in your punts,
Yeah.
but is also affecting now the players,
Of course.
right? So, yeah, was that something that happened or didn't? Go ahead, Luis.
Real quick, before you answer that question, can you look at that camera and say hi to Amaury? He's my dad. He's
Amaury,
a big soccer fan.
how are
Amaury,
you?
mira, aquí está, Cody. Anyways, go ahead, continue. He said hi.
So let me get the question straight. Is it, you're saying, did we do like an 11v11, like a shadow 11v11 based off of the dimensions? Yes.
Yeah, in your practice, okay.
Yeah, and I'd even say I'd go further, and I'd say the first 2 years that I spent here, we trained on Taft every single day, right? But the thing is this: that surface breaks your body down too
Yeah,
much.
it does.
Too much, right? So they're going through it right now. They had 4 or 5 guys that are out with injury, right? And I guarantee I take it to the bank, stone cold lock of the century, whatever you want to call it. It's because of that surface, and either them training on that surface and then going to play on the training pitch, right, or vice versa, right? Because
Vice versa, yeah.
because it's I'm pretty sure it's soft tissue injuries for the most part. There might be something else, but soft tissue injuries generally are from overexertion or different surfaces. So that's where I would, I'm not a fan. And
Yeah.
here's the thing: it has now become a disadvantage in terms of player recruitment. Okay, because the mentality has always been, from a player standpoint, take what you can get, don't negotiate too hard because they'll just get somebody to do it cheaper. Now, with more opportunity, players have choice.
Yeah.
And players will continue to have more choice as the expansion happens, right? So players can say, you know what? I'm not interested in coming to play here, right? I'm going to go play somewhere else. And I know for a fact, this is 2 years ago, we wanted to get a player here on loan. And he wound up going to San Antonio. And the reason I know this is because his mother was my agent, right? So what did San Antonio do? San Antonio said, hey, LA Galaxy, you don't want to send your guy to play on turf every single day. What we don't, or we didn't at the time, we had our training facility, but
Yeah.
LA said, yeah, you know what, you're right, and we're gonna send him to San Antonio. So it's becoming it's become a recruiting disadvantage. But you know what? Okay. Oh well.
Yeah.
Have they ever given you like the organization give you the task of like, hey, going after like let a friend know, hey, come here, try trying to reach out like through social media, and because I'm assuming social media might have something to do with it, where you reach out to people that like, hey, come play here or stuff. Has that ever happened to you? Where you have
Yes.
friends or okay?
Yeah. So basically, the off season happens, and it's, hey, we're thinking about bringing in this person and this person, and some coaches want to do it themselves. Other coaches say, hey, do you know this? Do you have a personal
Yeah.
relationship with this guy? It's not going to hurt to reach out to him and talk to him. And look, this is OKC has a lot to offer, off the field in terms of how they do things, which is a good thing. But I think they also realize that they need to, because we are middle America, right? And for
Yeah.
right or wrong, right, we're not a destination. Okay, so you have to sweeten.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Right.
Now when QB Sports get on the map, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Oh wait, I got you. My bad.
So you have to sweeten the deal. Okay, so what else can you do for me? Can you add bonuses? Can you take care of housing? Right? Can you put me in a nicer house than I would if I was,
Ooh.
playing for a team in Florida or a team in LA or New York or what have you? Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of, were you surprised about the housing market here, or like the prices here?
Oh yeah,
Were you kind of like, oh shit, like?
yeah. My wife and I, we bought our first house this time last year. So.
Okay, congratulations on that.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you. But yeah, it's
Do you mind like tell us what area?
so I'm in the Village.
Oh, he fancy.
Oh, get out of here!
He bougie. He bougie, bro. He bougie.
He said, I'm fancy, huh?
He bougie. All right.
Hey, listen, I got a nice.
He knows people.
I don't know what I don't know what the village is, but what it. But it's
Bro,
not
he
saying that
he
bad.
he chilling in the hills in LA. That's what that's.
Ah, okay,
He's
okay.
chilling in the hills. Yeah.
No.
The equivalency.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I was very surprised with, like, look, because I've had the experience of living out in LA, and understand that, man, what you get for $500,000, right, is zero
Oh, yeah.
lot line, right, and you could literally hand salt or pepper to your neighbor through a window, right, because I lived I lived out in Carson for a year, right, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I got on Zillow or Realtor.com and saw what these houses are going for.
Yeah.
Crazy. And you come here and it's like, wow, this is incredible.
I think Jose's feeling that too right now. He's
Jose, you gotta get back here, bro.
yeah.
It's funny because I went for a walk earlier, and I'm looking at me and my wife are looking at these houses, and we're like, damn, these houses are so small compared to the houses that we see for like $300,000 less.
Right.
In
Right.
Oklahoma. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you get 75 and sunny with zero humidity year round. So there's trade-offs.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
The other day, Luis was all like, we have to stay in because there's a tornado warning. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, damn, it
Yeah,
sucks.
he'll be like, "Hey, are we streaming today?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, there's a fucking tornado outside. Like, I'm not going to the office right now. Just, we got insurance for this. Don't worry about it. But I'm not going to the office. Stay at home."
Yeah, that made me think about the big old storm that was coming in today, and
Yeah, with the hell.
like it just missed us if we look at the radar, but we're like also in the middle of some of it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like
that's very
when,
interesting. Yeah.
when Cody texted me, I was like, "Oh shit, he's calling it off." Because we had
no.
people with the snowstorms and stuff like
Right.
that. So, and which we're understandable. We're like, "Nah, like I won't even drive out here." But yeah, when he texted me early this morning, I was like, or this afternoon, I was like, "Oh shit, we gotta postpone it because I'm not trying to
Reschedule.
get my car. Yeah, I'm not trying to get my car blown out."
Were you guys okay with what happened last week
Yeah.
With what?
with the hail?
All the hell.
We didn't get anything.
Good.
I mean, at least not at my house. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Oh, it was all good. So the biggest issue we had was that ice storm that we had months ago. Dude. Oh my gosh, that was my first ever ice storm. And what what was unique about it was all the leaves are still on the trees, right? So it weighed all the trees down. So
All of them.
oh my gosh, what a disaster! What a disaster!
Tree cutting.
Yeah, growing up, I lived through countless hurricanes, but an ice storm caused just as much damage. Just as much damage. I went to go to I was one of the lucky ones at Lowe's to get a chainsaw, and I bring the chainsaw back to the house. I go in the backyard to remove some limbs from the tree, and I come back into my garage and I see a car speeding off. Didn't think much of it, and then
They took your chainsaw.
They took my chainsaw. They took
At the
it.
village?
At the village,
village?
bro. At the village. Yes.
If you're watching this and you took Cody Laurendi's chainsaw, you're an asshole. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
We know people.
Yeah.
Not me, but Cody does.
Never mind. I can't go out there no more.
But yeah, that was
No way.
that was an interesting one, man. It was my first ever ice storm, and everybody was everybody was unprepared, man. And I said, look, all right, I guess he needed it more than I did. Just kind of that's how I equated to it. But man, it was brutal. I was like, why is this guy driving so fast down the street? There's trees everywhere, right? And he's going over trees.
Oh my God.
And then-
you know
and
how
then-
desperate you have to be?
And then I put two and two together.
Well, I think this guy followed you from Lowe's. This person had to have followed
Exactly.
you. They're like, yeah, that was a quick move by them.
Exactly.
Jeez.
It must have been
That's
one of those
scary.
chainsaw, huh?
It what?
Must have been one of those high end ones.
Oh yeah. No,
I'm assuming. Where
Cody's
worth
bougie,
following-
man. You got
worth following. Or-
they got a sound speaker and everything, boy. You cutting trees down. You listen to Drake while you're doing that.
no, it was.
That's funny.
Well, it was an entry level type of chainsaw where it was like $100. I was like, all right, I think I got this because I got a big tree in the front yard that came down, and then one in the back that came down as well. And then I didn't think anything of it at first, and then like, all right, let's go break into this chainsaw, get these trees down, and I'm standing there, hands on my hips, like my chainsaw. Where is it?
Where'd that go? Yeah. So, okay, so then let me ask you this, because I think this is, if I was watching the stream, I'd want to know.
Yeah.
Aside from the money, there has to be more than money reasons that you retired. Your body, work, you're looking for something new.
Yeah.
Are those all part of it?
Yeah. That's yeah, that's a good question. I still feel like I could play. My body, look, I've had my fair share of injuries, right? In the past couple of years, I've done my knee, had an elbow procedure. That again is the elbow procedure is strictly down to diving on the artificial surface. A lot of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I have strong feelings of, hey, this it's not acceptable. I'm trying to look very far in the future, and I look at it. Does another 2 years of playing in the USL, while it would be great to pad my stats and to say I played X amount of games, does that take me away from my ultimate goal? My ultimate goal is one of two things: either to build this sports agency up to where it's a Wasserman or a CAA, these big time agencies that have that are involved in every professional sport, or does a big time club view me as somebody that they'd be willing to give the keys to the car to run the organization, to have decision-making power? Because that's ultimately what I know I will excel at, is understanding how to run an organization, not just from on field, right, but bringing in the right personalities.
So we're talking about like a general manager almost?
General manager, CEO, president of operations is kind of where I'm seeing it, and sponsorship acquisition, right?
Now, are you when you say that, do you see yourself doing that in the energy, or do you see yourself just in the football world?
I think the energy would be a good start, but I am more ambitious than just the energy. I see myself My
Let's go. Let's fucking go. God, I'm gonna put your face on my shirt. Oh God, I got goosebumps. I got
Hey, hey,
goosebumps.
Cody's gonna be our lifelong friend when when
For
he's out here running
real.
freaking.
Cody, you're hired.
listen,
You're working for
He's gonna be
QE Sports now.
perfect,
he's gonna be running that show, dude. He's gonna
perfect,
be like season tickets, QB Sports. Here you go.
perfect. Look,
Hey,
hey, say no more. Hey,
hey, he doesn't even live here, okay? So you know that's from the heart, because he don't even live here. He can't even
exactly.
benefit that.
Hey, we could get Cube Sports on the I could see it right now, the logo on the jersey.
I
Ooh.
wish, man. I reached out to them.
I'm saying, man.
But soon.
I'm saying.
Hold
That's
on. What
dope.
size are you? What size are you?
What's that? A large or XL?
Hold up, I got you, bro.
Okay.
Go take care of him. Go take care of him. Go take care of him.
But no, I look. This is not. I'm not downplaying the significance of the energy, but I see myself high level, high level, highest level. I want
Yeah.
I want responsibility of decision making, right? And I want to. I am willing to put my look. I think that's something that as a goalkeeper that you kind of learn one way or the other is your work is on display for everybody to judge, right or wrong. And
Oh yeah.
I'm totally okay with that, right? I have no problem.
That's a very interesting point because if you're a forward, if you're a midfielder, if you're a defender, like your actions aren't always going to be watched as
Correct.
much as
True.
yeah.
Hey, that's fresh. Let me put that. You see that? I got gifts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Only
Yeah.
for you, Cody. Only
Thank
for
you.
you, Cody. Only
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you. But
But
I'm,
but yeah, that's a very interesting point because you as a goalkeeper, you are already a manager
Yeah.
in a sense, you know. You're the first one to see the whole, or you're the only one that
Only one.
sees the whole pitch. Yeah,
yeah, so
very
it's
very interesting point.
those skills and something that's worked for me from a playing standpoint. I know will be transferable into the work the business side of it, where obviously how to work within a team, right? You know how to work when you're quote unquote losing, right? So you're in um, compromising situations, and you also are able to lead with empathy. And what I mean by that is understanding that your defenders may not be like they're under. You understand strengths and weaknesses of people. Okay.
Yeah.
And goalkeeping allows you to see everything, like you said, everything in front of you, right? There's nobody behind you, right? So your decision making is going to be judged because there is nobody to bail you out. There's nobody to bail you out. It's a position. It's an outlier in a team sport, which is why I've always found so fascinating, and kind of why I've gravitated towards it is because of that. Is hey man, look, like I could have a great game or what I think is a great game, and somebody could be very critical of it. Oh, you should have done this, or
Yeah.
you should have done that. Okay, well that's easy to say, right? That's everybody has,
Yeah.
what's the term? Hindsight is 20/20. Yeah, of course. But in the moment, in the
In the
moment,
moment.
I made this decision, right? And 90% of the time it works out, 10% of the time it doesn't. But I prefer that. I prefer living a life like that, where it's like, hey, I'm not hiding. I am who I am. I'm going to make
Yeah.
decisions. I'm going to make calculated decisions, calculated risks based on my ability to follow through or achieve success or whatever you consider success. And that's something that goalkeeping over the past 10 to 15 years has really really helped me with, because look, it's the easiest thing in the world to sit on the sidelines and say, "Oh, I could have done this," or "You should have done this."
Yeah.
Get the hell out of there! Get the hell-
I would have reached
pretty
that.
much, yeah, you're pretty much the dark horse of the team, because play good, nobody notices unless you do like a ton of saves. But if you, like you said, if you play bad, then you're gonna get criticized for that 10%.
Of course,
Kind of like playing corner, corner, nobody talks about the fucking corner.
right?
Because, if a corner shuts down a wide receiver, nobody's going to say, oh, da-da-da-da. But the moment that receiver catches that one pass, it becomes a highlight. Same thing with the
Exactly.
goalie. It's like, it's the dark horse,
Exactly. That's something like you take it in perspective. If you're a forward and you miss 9 out of 10, You're
Nobody's gonna say nothing because you tried.
not even
You
not
tried
even that.
9 out of 10.
Not even that. They're gonna promote you as the goal scorer, right? As the one who scored the goal. If you're a goalkeeper and you miss 9 out of 10, go find something else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, while you were playing all these games, while you were, was there ever like a big team that reached out to you where you kind of like you were thinking like, oh shit, I should jump this, but then you were kind of like, you know what? Not that you were comfortable with where you were at, but you were just kind of like, I like what I'm doing. I love what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
doing. And if I go to this place, you know what? It goes from loving this to fuck. I gotta be tuned in, 100, like 300%, and I won't be comfortable.
Right.
Not in a game sense, because you're a competitor, but in a sense where it's like, I'm gonna spend time away from family. I'm gonna more time away from family. I'm gonna spend more time away from, other priorities or other goals that I have. So, did that ever happen during your career?
It did. It did. And it happened here in OKC. FC Dallas reached out.
Oh.
But here's the thing.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So FC
I
Dallas.
didn't mean that in a bad way.
That's okay. FC Dallas reached out in 2018. No, 2017. And basically kind of inquired, would I be interested in coming down to play for them? Not as a starter,
No.
right? And
Was that when that goalie got kicked off because of?
that was Jesse. That was after. He was on the team, but he wound up getting cut afterwards.
Oh, okay.
FC Dallas reached out. Hey, would you be interested? Because I went on trial with them for about 2 weeks after 2016. And 2017, they said, hey, would you have interest in signing as a number 2 or number 3?
Yeah.
And look, first and foremost, the opportunity. I looked at that opportunity as a step backwards. I think, and that's how I explained it to him. I said, look, obviously I'm very grateful for you to reach out and think of me in this way, but I'm a number 1 here in OKC. I'm able to impact the community through coaching and through stuff that the energy puts on, and interacting with people. And it's not necessarily a comfort level, but I really enjoy
Yeah.
You're having fun.
having fun.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And-
Enjoying it.
and
Family
yeah.
oriented almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to go to FC Dallas to be a number 3, and a number 3 goalkeeper is generally what's thought of as cannon fodder for guys that need extra reps. So I would have been going from a starting USL goalkeeper to the guy who has to stand in goal, Monday through
Just get blasted
Friday,
on all
and
day.
just get blasted on. Right.
For you uneducated non-soccer people, it'd be like signing a deal with the Dallas Cowboys to be on the practice squad
Correct.
to get your ass kicked
Correct.
every day.
Yeah, exactly. So, you do the total cost benefit, or cost analysis, and the money would have been would have been similar, because not just the money that I'm getting from playing, but the money that I'm making from coaching here in OKC, and the clientele that I've built up. But it would also
Against the cost of living and
Exactly. So you have to take in the total compensation package, right? Not just the all right, I'm gonna get X amount in my salary. Then you expand on that, and you expand on it in a sense of, all right, next year, if I'm on league minimum salary and my salary's set to go up even a shiny red cent, I'm not going to, my contract's not going to get picked up, because they'll just draft another goalkeeper through the MLS draft. They'll get a third choice. Then I'm going to be out of contract, and who knows? There's no guarantee that I come back to OKC.
yeah.
So those are things that you kind of have to take all into perspective, not just the opportunity, the entire cost benefit. So, but yeah, that was
Quick.
my experience.
Go ahead.
That's a good question, Luis.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Thanks, bro.
But real quick, Cody, ATLS Spurs 21 says hello. How's Verdant been tonight? And I'm a big Cody Laurendi fan. ATLS Spurs 21. I don't know if you might know them or not.
Well, ATL Spurs 21. Thank you so much. Everything has been awesome tonight. But I do feel terrible because I'm god awful at this game. So I hope.
But
Go.
he's spitting fire though. Cody's spitting
Hey,
fire tonight. Okay, so
I hope the conversation is better than the actual gameplay, which I think it is. But
and then Ricardo. Oh, Ricardo! Hey, shout out to Ricardo from
Hey,
the
Ricardo.
Football Factory. He put fire, fire, fire.
Ricardo's the man.
But Cody, thank you so much for answering that question.
Of
Is
course.
something that was kind of like on my mind just because I have been watching you for a while, and I think I've been a true energy fan for maybe the last 3 years, and I
Yeah,
was
he's not kidding.
I'm not
He's not
kidding.
kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
man.
I took my cousin. He's from LA. He was out here last week for the game opener, and he was just kind of like, man, I wasn't too
It's a
impressed. And
vibe, huh?
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, oh man, it's Cody's not out there. That's why, man. But I told him, I was like, listen, Sack wasn't out there, Cody wasn't out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know. No offense to the other players that are
Yeah.
watching, but yeah, man, we really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, and you have a lot of knowledge that I feel like heard, and in the day of the internet, it's a lot easier, for your message to be put out there and for people to be heard. And I feel like whoever's watching, I don't know if you've been watching this whole time or if you have been paying attention, but Cody is gonna have a podcast
Yep.
pretty soon.
Yep.
We don't know when, so stay tuned on his Instagram. We put his social media on there. So yeah, I mean, I think you have a lot to say. And it kind of sucks because we only have one day we might have to do this another time too. Maybe
Oh.
Cody Laurendi part 2.
Absolutely.
For sure. Leading on to the next question, if you have time.
Yeah.
So first team soccer agency, how did
Yes.
that happen?
So,
How did that lead up to?
Yeah, so there's relationships that you develop over the years, right? I've been represented by a great woman by the name of Danica Jameson. Danica's son and I were teammates in LA, by the name of Bradford Jameson, and Bradford is over at Hartford right now in the USL. So she's been my representation on the back end of my career. Since retiring, and obviously throughout the years, I've built up relationships with, players. And hey, who's your agent? We all talk. And what does your agent do for you, right? Well, there's two gentlemen that have stuck out that have impeccable reputations, and I think it's important. I think it's the most important thing, especially in this line of work, to align or establish yourself with like-minded individuals, people that others like doing business with, right? People that don't add friction to your life, right? Because nobody needs that.
Yeah.
Nobody needs the interaction of, oh man, when you get a phone call, you're like, ah shit, this guy's calling. No, it's like, hey man, how are you? Right? That sets a different tone when you're talking business, right? So
Yeah.
two guys, PJ Savage and Itamar Keenan, who have recently joined forces. Each of them had their own agency. They're just two people that teammates of mine throughout the years have always spoken highly of. Never heard a bad thing about them. And obviously, it's an industry that, right, wrong, or indifferent, does get branded as like this kind of scummy,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
industry. And I've seen it firsthand already.
I would say you're talking about the player agency
Yes.
industry, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct.
As a whole.
And I would say, tying back to Javier, it's kind of like being a lawyer,
Yeah, we have a bad stigma in communities. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, you have people like Javier and Jose who are, they're great in their community, they do good things, and then you have some people that you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to hang out with them, I don't know if they want,
course.
if I want to give them that call, so it's kind of like, same thing.
You're not chasing ambulances, are you?
No, that's funny. That's so funny that you asked that.
Can you go further into that? Or?
It's just like personal injury attorneys or people who work with people who've been in car wrecks or anything.
Yes.
They call them ambulance chasers because you're always
Uh,
you're
so
always
And I know
looking
that.
for that
You learn
next
something new every
wreck, you
day.
know.
they're the
Yeah.
bottom. They're the
You
bottom
learn
ones.
something new every day.
Yeah, they're we've heard some crazy stories of people doing stuff like that and pulling up
Oh,
to hospitals. It's crazy.
I can
I
believe
think
it.
I've learned more in the last 7 months that the cube has been going on because of guest night than I ever did in college. Bro.
There you go.
I'm learning a lot.
Relationships.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we need to get somebody on for guest night for that. So
exactly.
for sure. But go ahead, Cody. My bad.
Yeah, no. So reputation obviously is first and foremost. Okay. Um, I've developed a good reputation,
hmm
and I think it's imperative that in this next step, you not just latch on to any opportunity, but you latch on to the right opportunity.
Yeah.
These two gentlemen have a good share of the market within the USL and MLS, which is where I want to start working. But like I said, I have aspirations to help. Let's say an up and coming player. Let's use like the FC Dallas model for example, right? Brian Reynolds just was sold to Roma a couple months ago, right after being a pro for FC Dallas for 2 months for
Uh,
for $7 million, right? So talk about return on investment, right? And if I can, yeah, I'm not sugarcoating it. This is a means to an end. I want to
oh, it is. Yeah.
I want to make money doing this, right? But I also know that I want to be known as somebody who people enjoy doing business with, who I'm not gonna. You have my word here, right? It's on video. I am not somebody who's going to take any shortcuts. I'm also not interested in just taking on all players. I'm interested in taking on the right players, right? And that's just
Yeah.
not on field, right? That is how are you getting out in the community, right? How are you an asset to the organization, not just on field, right? Because at the end of the season, they're going to do the season-ending review, and you're going to have your meeting, right? I want to make sure that the players that I represent are the hardest to let go for whatever franchise they play
Yeah.
for, right? So
Can I go into that? Like, so I had end of year. God, what was the word?
Yeah. And
you
do your
used?
reviews.
yeah, and the
Reviews,
review,
right?
yeah.
Because I was a banker before
Yeah,
this. I was
okay.
a banker, and every year it was like, okay, you hit the marks for all your accounts and your loans and your mortgages, and the people left good remarks towards you. So, I mean, I kind of know, or you kind of have to figure that there is that going in sports, but that's not something that
Yeah.
that is just because as soon as you said that, I was like, oh fuck, I'm back at Bank of Oklahoma. Like, oh shit, oh
Trauma.
shit, yeah, for real. Oh dude, but that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
insane. Like,
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
truth.
like,
It's the truth
It's
Yeah.
because
crazy that you think about that profession and you think about it like this. It's something that
yeah.
I'm just
Well,
listening. It's
even
funny
with
because I'm just
Jose,
listening and I'm
Right.
soaking it all in.
yeah, even Jose, like Jose, I'm pretty sure you have quarterly or semi,
Yeah,
year or
they call it our yearly
thing.
reviews.
Yeah, same thing, and it's kind of like you don't think like not to say normal jobs, but it's kind of like oh shit, like they have that. But you kind of know like okay, at the end of the head, in the back of the head, you're like okay, this player is played this good in the end of the season, so he's gonna get that bonus. Or maybe this guy is not playing so good, he's gonna go down. But I've never heard it like
yes.
the way you.
Yeah, and depending on who you're sitting across the table from, I've been in meetings where, like, I feel personally, and I know I've had a good season, and they'll sit across and they'll try to minimize your efforts. They'll say, yeah, but you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do that. Yeah, but I did this, this, and this, and basically what they're doing is they're trying to lessen your bargaining power if you're out of contract, but they want you back. I say, yeah, we'll call you, or we want you back, but. And then I've been in other meetings where it's like, hey, you're our guy, right?
Yeah.
You're our guy. So It is. And there's other meetings. So I say all that to basically reiterate that I want at the end of the season the guys that I represent to be the hardest to get rid of. Hey, you not only took care of business on the field, but in the community, right? You were, the face of the franchise, right? Which is something that I had my agent put in my contract. Agree in a contract, right? You could do some bonuses, right? And you can also kind of get creative with it. Well, one of the things is Cody. I'm talking about, right? Cody has the first right of refusal to do any promotional stuff that the Energy or the Fort Lauderdale Strikers or the whatever you name the club that I played for. They have the first right of refusal to do that, because then you have name and face association with a team, and that makes it harder for you to move on in the best way possible.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing to talk about, because like Luis was thinking, getting player contracts together, and we talked a lot about contracts, and we deal with a lot of contracts on a daily, and so like that's a thing that we don't talk about a lot because we don't have to deal with it a lot. But the power of bargaining
Yes.
and contract creations is huge. It's so huge, especially in a professional realm like that, that you have the ability to manage contracts like that. And I think that's an important thing to say, that that's what you can do for players that you would represent.
Correct.
Because you know that world.
Correct.
And that's cool. That's very important too.
He knows the other end of whether the agent is rooting for you or if he's just using you to
Right.
get a check, your account, or what's the word? There's a word for it. There's
The
a saying.
commission.
Yeah, but there's like a cash cow. Cash cow. You're just a cash cow, right? Or you're just, or if he's just like, you know what? I fuck with this guy. I'm going to get the best I can out of
Yeah.
him. And so you can go and say, okay, this is what my agent did, and then this is what he didn't do. So it's like now you can go back and say, hey, I got you, and I can get you this, and maybe that player's like, oh well, I didn't even think about
Exactly.
that. And you're kind of like, well, yeah, I got you.
Exactly.
And I think it's just an evolution of just the sport.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'll give you an example. So the one deal that I've done so far, right? The guy that I helped was already in the market where they wanted him to play because he had played there the year before. And he calls me and he says, listen, I spoke with the coach. I told them, I'm already here. I'm already in the market. And I said, you got to shut the hell up, right? Because you're already losing your bargaining power, right?
Yeah.
So how do you flip that when it comes to a negotiation? So you start speaking with the technical director. You say, listen, this guy, he's not going to require you to pay any relocation fee. So I'm not going to push for any relocation fee, okay? Because some clubs do offer that. He's already a market, okay? He's not an open tryout player, so he's not a question mark. What does that do? That alleviates stress from the head coach, first-year head coach.
Oh yeah.
Right? So, okay, he's an established player in this league. So, you know where he slots in at your starting 11, right? So that's stress that's off the head coach's mind, right? He let's go performance-based. Okay, if he scores or has an assist, right? He's an attacking player, right? Let's get him a bonus for that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
If he is player of the week or part of team of the week, two things that promote your club through social media, which gives you impressions and which gives you eyeballs on your club, right? So it inevitably helps your profile, right?
Yeah.
If he does that through performance, he should get compensated from it. And clubs, for the most part, are willing to negotiate the variable financial stuff. It's the fixed stuff that you have a little bit more difficulty. I wouldn't say it's like impossible, but there's a little bit more difficulty with the fixed. Hey, this is what you're making bi-weekly or whatever. But the variable stuff, the stuff that is not guaranteed, they're willing to, okay, well, because it obviously benefits them, right? So
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, if you don't perform or whatever,
Exactly.
we don't have to pay.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, Cody!
Yeah,
I'm
crazy
smiling
stuff.
like ear to ear because I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to
No,
use
this is
this
all good
shit.
stuff.
Hey, Junior, you taking notes, bro? Because shit, I am. I hope
No,
none of our
freaking.
players are watching. Because they taking notes too. Shit.
No, well, look, I think look, it's a front-loaded career path with years.
Yeah.
All right, you're a perfect example, right? I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, okay? You're getting started at your age, right?
Yeah.
When was the first year that you started?
I was 28.
28, right? If you're
Yeah.
so equate that to a football, right? A footballer. You're coming on if you're a field player, you're on the downside of your career, right? So it's a front-loaded career path. So you need somebody in your corner, right, who's going to
Yeah.
maximize your earning potential, because there is no 5 or 10 years from now we're going to be able,
Yeah.
because there is no 5 or 10 years from now. It has to happen. It has to happen now. So
Yeah.
that's using all of these experiences, both positive and negative, and things that have gone into my contract before. All right, let's get a little creative. If you're not willing to budge on the fixed rate, let's talk about the variables. The stuff that you're not beholden to week in and week out having to pay, and only will pay when the positive play on the field it takes place. And
Yeah.
clubs are pretty receptive to that. So, but again, I'm speaking of in terms of somebody who is new at this and is always learning and probably will always keep learning.
Oh yeah.
But it's not rocket science, man. It's not rocket science. It's relationships and being easy to work with, right? And not like I said earlier. It's not, you're not wanting to bring friction to other people's life, because most people have other shit going on, right?
Yeah.
So
That's so true, because like even we see that every day, as an attorney, like you said something earlier that was so true, and it was like, or I think Luis said it. He was like, well, this person can get me this, and this person got me that, and this person can do this for me, but then it also comes to relieving stress.
Yes.
It's like, well, we have people that come in and say, oh, well, this attorney told me that they could do this for me. I'm like, well, I'll be honest with you. You could do that, but let me tell you how that's going to happen, or let me tell you why we wouldn't do that kind of thing. And so we relieve that stress. We say, hey, this is the big picture. This is all of it. This us a total breakdown, and we just see it so much in client relationships, and you're in the mix of it too. So that's awesome.
I'll give you an example of one that I'm going through right now. Is a younger player, 17-year-old, right? And he's just signed MLS homegrown deal. Okay.
Nice.
Can we get a name?
No, for reasons
Okay.
of anonymous, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the reason as to where, or the idea as to where a lot of people's heads are at, right?
I'll do
Yeah.
my history.
So he's signed a homegrown deal, right? Young player, and he hasn't played a minute, right? But his family asked, can you get a box of Puma gear or a box of Nike gear sent to the house every month? And I'm thinking to myself, all right, hold on a second. You're putting the end result before any of the work, right? Just because you've signed the deal means nothing. It means nothing, right? You've signed the deal. Now you have a better opportunity to play. You still got to play. You still got to perform. You still got to take care of everything on the field. The off the field shit happens on its own, but it only happens when you take care of stuff on the field, right? So if you're looking at the end result without doing any of the work, you're not going to have a long career. You're not going to have a career at all, And throughout the years, you see it over and over again. This young talented player, but he doesn't pan out. Well, okay, for one reason or another, does he just see the end result as being the goal? Does he see I signed the contract, now I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread? Or is he saying, okay, I signed the contract and I'm now willing to put the necessary work in?
Let's get to work.
Exactly.
Do you think that's the difference between soccer and not every sport, because NBA has, what's it called? They have actual contract money. You
Right.
sign for 53, you're gonna get paid for 53. But you look at the NFL, you see yeah, this guy signed a 5-year deal for 73 million, but it's not guaranteed.
Correct.
Do you think that's why the NFL does that, where they're like, well, yeah, you signed for 73, but we need you to show us 73.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, that's
And whereas in soccer, it's like you sign for 10 million, you're going to get 10 million whether you score a goal
right.
or you score 10.
Yeah, the NFL is an interesting one because it's a little misleading for the general viewer, right? Because they see what do you see on ESPN? X player signs $100 million deal. Okay, but let's look at that in a reality, right? The reality is what's the guaranteed money, right? Because what is the player going to get for sure, right?
Signing bonus.
They're going to get that, and they're going to get maybe a base salary of. And look, let's be honest. They're not poor, okay? Right? So like keep everything in perspective here, right? But that $100 million figure, even Pat Mahomes, right? Pat Mahomes got a massive chunk of that up front, but all $500 million of that is not guaranteed, right? There's a lot of that money that's tied up into incentives, or because it's a 10-year contract. How can you prognosticate 10 years in a sport that the average career length is less than 3 years? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So from a standpoint of contracts, it's like, all right, that's great that the biggest number is what gets the most eyeballs on it, but what's the reality? Because the reality is, okay, what's the guaranteed compensation?
Yeah.
Because they can cut you anytime.
There's a big difference.
Do you think soccer should go to that? Because from what you're saying, it's like, okay, you signed that $10 million deal, but that guy can be like, well, fuck it, I made $10 million. Why should I score 5 goals in the next 2 matches?
I would say this. My rebuttal to that is look at the interest in the two sports. Where NFL is interesting to people in America, okay? World football is interesting to the world, right? So your audience, your marketability, right?
Yeah.
It's almost as if you're more incentivized to do well because I can go over and I could do a summer tour in Asia and have hundreds of thousands of people chanting my name, right? Because I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo or I'm a Leo Messi, right? I can have Adidas having my shoe sponsor, right? I mean, the closest thing to world soccer is NBA, right? And the NBA what is it? Klay Thompson has a shoe deal with a Chinese brand, right? That's not because I guarantee you it's not necessarily an inferior product, but I guarantee you that's way more money that he's getting from that shoe brand than Nike or Adidas or New Balance or whatever the big players are in the basketball shoe range would or business would offer him. Right, and because he has world appeal, right? Steph Curry, he goes over to China. KD goes over to China, or you name it, right? They're the closest thing to world soccer in terms of interest, right? Whereas Major League Baseball, it's America, it's a little bit of the Caribbean, right?
Right.
Football, American
Hockey
football,
is like
hockey, Canada, and,
North America,
Russia.
maybe Eastern European,
Eastern
or
Black
whatever,
European. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like you're incentivized a little bit more to hit those, the higher achievements because of the ability to earn. Whereas in the NFL, it's like your average career length is less than 3 years. There's a draft every year, right? And it's kind of like a get your money when you can, get me the most guaranteed, and then I'm out. So.
Quick little pause on our conversation. ATLS Spurs 21 says, what is Cody's favorite away city or stadium to play in? And does he like cats?
Oh, I'm not. I like cats, but I'm a dog person.
Okay.
And then my favorite away city or stadium to play in was probably San Antonio. I like San Antonio.
It's a lovely city.
Yeah.
It's a lovely city.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
I spent like 4 or 5 New Years there.
Okay.
In the Riverwalk with my family. Yeah, oh dude, that was a fun time.
So I
was like young. I want to go when I'm now, like, so I
Yeah.
can get a soccer party. Yeah.
So, so I liked it because the stadium setup, the fans are like right on top of you,
Ah.
and they're calling you every four-letter word that you could possibly imagine. You know, it's that experience is great. Look, away days are really fun, and
Oh, oh.
it sounds
Cody,
strange.
Cody.
Yeah.
ATL says, ask Cody about his bro in San Antonio. Wait, was this in a game or like after the game?
No, it was in a game.
At a bar? Ah, go ahead.
No, it was in a game, and there was. Do you remember Danny Koenig?
No, I do not.
So Danny was here. I want to say 2015 and 16. Danny went up for a header with their goalkeeper in San Antonio. There was an altercation. The keeper punched Danny, and then yeah, check it out.
It's on YouTube.
Let's see it.
Danny.
No, type in 2006 San Antonio versus OKC.
2016.
2016, yeah. What did I say? 2006? Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell us.
So essentially, there was a big fight in the box. Let's see if this is the.
What was it like?
It was in San Antonio.
But what do you remember? Like, what is it? First half, second half, end of the
I think it was the first half.
half? Like a highlight thing.
I don't know. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that game.
Oh, this is 2018.
Let me see. I'll pull it up.
There's a big one. I mean, it's like 2 hours long, so I'd have to find it.
Let's see.
That's going about Cody's bro. That's funny. This person must really know who you are, Cody.
2016. I think that was.
His wife.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Hold on.
That actually might be it. Is it just highlights?
Because actually, this is a different fight.
Yep, that was. Yeah, that's it.
That's with the other goalie though.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Whatever game that was.
It's Cody. Got bloody. He's got a bloody nose. You can't see right now, but he knocked out 2 dudes. That's all I gotta say. I didn't show it.
In any
They
case,
shut
what
that
happened
down.
was there was a collision. There's a collision with their goalkeeper, and I wasn't. Look, I'm not trying to be a tough guy or anything like that, but they're basically like wrestling, right, on the ground, and in typical soccer fight fashion. I don't think a single necessarily punch was thrown, but there's a lot of pushing and shoving. So I ran down, and they had one of our teammates, Danny Gonzalez. They had him pressed up against the net, like in the back, and 2 of them were kind of holding him down. So I was like, yeah. So I was like,
I gotta look this up.
that's unnecessary.
I gotta find it.
Whatever game that was, find the full match, and you'll be able to find it. But basically, just hey, get off the teammate, get off my teammate. It was by no means was I trying to be like I said, the tough guy, but it was definitely protecting the teammates, right? Because they're
I'm not saying I wouldn't back up from a fight, but I wouldn't want to fight Cody.
Oh man,
Cody surprised me when he was at the door. I was like, who the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, who's this linebacker in my fucking front door? Like, he's about to rob me. Nah, I'm out. I can't do this. Yeah, Cody. For all of you that haven't seen him in real person,
I was like, I'm like, that's no soccer player right there.
nah, bro, he looks like a linebacker. He should have played for OU. Shit. I got scared. I was like, I'm gonna wait for Javier to get here because if he tries to get crazy,
So I'm not
if he
open the
gets
door
too
yet.
I'm running, bro. I'm letting Javier handle that.
No, man, I'm definitely not I'll be a gentle giant. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. If my team is
Oh, we got another question. or not question, but oh no, it is a question. I want to know, can Latino score on you?
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
We'll see, man.
oh, that's a good question.
Hey,
I don't
we might
know.
have to do a little promo up at Score
Uh,
OKC.
we may have to.
You know.
I'm back at playing the Western now, so I might come score a goal or two
All
on
right.
Cody. Just slide it by.
Hey, you know he plays dirty if he plays at Western.
No, I was a defender growing up, but I don't know. Cody would probably block a couple of my PKs. I'll probably get a couple PKs past him, but scoring situations are different now. Even they're just so different. I scored like four. I probably scored I think I had like 6 goals in my college career.
Okay.
And some were decent goals.
Okay.
Some were decent goals, but I think if I would have ran into you in a game setting, it might be a tough match. I've only had like 3 goalkeepers in my like entire lifetime that I played against that I was like, I'll never score on that guy in my life.
Really?
Like, yeah, and one of them ended up playing for Chivas in Mexico.
Okay.
And then the other two, I don't even know whatever happened to them, but yeah, no, that's a whole different world. Whoever asked that question,
It was the
It's like
Meg.
they knew.
The
It's
Meg.
like
the Meg. Oh, of course
It
it
was the
would be the
Meg.
Meg, the Megalodon.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I would outrun everybody in this room, so I just gonna put that out there. I got that 4.3 speed. I just gotta say that. Well, not right now, but back in my time,
He's like at my peak.
in my peak. ATL Spurs said, let's see, it's on YouTube. It says, I can't believe Cody doesn't recognize the name ATL Spurs. So he must know you,
Oh, it's
or you must know him.
it's CJ. CJ Cochran.
See,
Ah,
the
CJ.
CJ, hey, CJ! Where's the camera at? I hit you up on Twitter, bro. You didn't hit me back.
Oh man.
Oh.
Hey, that's par for the course though. With CJ.
I guess you didn't want to be on guest night with Cody. Okay.
Yeah, I guess not, man.
Let's get this game in real quick.
Cool.
Let's hit this up real quick. Yeah, go ahead and turn on your controller. Cody, what's your time limit like?
I got about 20 more minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. We
Cool.
got this. We got this.
Perfect.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to bring you back out here. You got a lot to say. Again, like I said, if you need help with your podcast, or
Thank
if
you.
you need a place to do your filming, or if you need whoa, somebody left. Who left? Yeah, just let us know, and then we'll make it happen.
Thanks, bro.
Because we'd like to help you, and I feel like again, we've only been here for 2 hours, and I feel like you have a lot to say.
Hey, man.
And it's knowledge, free knowledge, and who doesn't like that? Knowledge is power. So I feel like
Right.
there's a big market, not just in Oklahoma, but in the Midwest, and that would appreciate your insight and what to do, which is crazy because so small little stories. So I went to I have family in California, and my dad's family is in San Diego, and I have a cousin I never met, and the day before Thanksgiving last year, we were gonna drive out there for Thanksgiving, and he actually flew in here to try out for Tulsa FC. I think he's 19, and I never met him, and my dad brought him in. He's my dad's side of the family. And he checked out the cube, and he was telling me all these stories about how he wants to go to Europe, because there's European teams. His agent told him, hey, let's go to Europe.
Right.
We'll try you at like a 4th division, 3rd division, and
Right.
work your way up.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that you have all these things to say and all this knowledge, because in his mind, and honestly at the time, because of my ignorance to how soccer works, and I don't really know much about it, the professional side. To me, it made perfect sense. Yeah, fuck it.
Right.
Can't make it here, go to Europe. Maybe try it out there. But definitely, there's a lot of things that you've said that I can reach out to him and be like, hey, don't go.
Right. Yeah. It's not.
No?
It's not like I'm trying to discourage anybody from chasing their dreams. Absolutely not. That's
Yeah.
all I'm trying to do is kind of give a realistic perspective of what you're up against, and if you're willing to go through it, because of course, just like anything, all you see in something that you want to do is the upside. but you don't take into account all of the inevitable shitty times that you'll have, right?
Yeah.
And if you're willing to go through that, then it's for you. But if not, if you're gonna fold at the slightest experience of adversity, then you got to do something else, because you're gonna go over there. You're gonna be in an environment where it's guys are putting food on the table for their family. Okay.
Yeah.
And that mentality, that mindset is totally different, totally foreign.
Dog eat dog world.
Exactly. And
It's, for them, for people that go there, it's like, I'm gonna try and see if I can make it. I'm gonna try.
There
Let's
is
see
no
what
try.
happens. Yeah. And for them, it's like, no, like, I'm not gonna let you take this food
Right.
from my family. I'm not gonna let you take this. It's not an opportunity. It's like, this has to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Brazil is a good example. There are thousands, 4 or 5,000 Brazilians that are playing professionally outside of Brazil. Right? So keep that in mind when, all right, you want to go and you're going to go try to play professionally. That's one country. And yeah, it's a some would argue it's the mecca of football, right?
Yeah.
But you're not the only one that has these aspirations. Right?
Yeah.
So what's going to set you apart?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I always kind of think back to like my time in soccer, and I always wish that I could go back and redo that. So I think the knowledge that you're like putting out there and will continue to put out there is just going to be huge, and like it's going to be very meaningful to anyone who really wants that and wants to pursue that, and it's very important. Yeah.
Thank you.
Information.
I really think you need to follow through with the podcast or even the stream, because this is knowledge that even me, I started soccer late. I only started playing it like 4 years ago, and I fell in love with it. And thinking now, I'm like, fuck, dude, I should have not played and ran track. Or I shouldn't have played football and ran track.
Right.
I had the speed and track, but in my head, I'm like,
Right. Okay.
what you've been through, right? But in my head, I'm like, my kids are gonna play soccer,
Right.
hands down.
Of course.
But it's cool that like I said, this is a lot of knowledge that you have that I think needs to get out to the world.
Absolutely.
And so, like, again, if any help that you need on the technical side as far as like how to edit and all that stuff, you let us know, man. We got you.
Thank you.
Sure, for sure.
Cody, are you having kids? I don't know if that's a sensitive topic.
Oh no, like
Plan on
definitely plan on it. My wife and I were both transitioning to new careers at this moment. So
Okay.
it's
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch
it'll
the
happen,
skies.
but not for
Oh,
not for a little
tell
while.
us about your wife. Tell us about how that happened.
Oh man, she's incredible. Originally from San Antonio. It's funny that you brought up the banking thing, because her father is the CEO over at Bank 7.
Okay.
A bank here
Ooh.
in Oklahoma. They
Playtime's
have
over, mate. You're going to the war zone.
they have what's it called? Branches in Kansas, and they're headquartered in Frisco. So I was introduced to her through a mutual friend, former teammate of mine, Michael Thomas. I was the first ever.
You didn't slide in the DMs?
No, I didn't slide in the DMs. No.
Thank you to Michael Thomas. Thank you to Michael Thomas.
Yep. And when we met, she was in corporate insurance.
Hold on, sorry. Cody, do you see the drop spot? Let's all try to land together this time. That we can protect each other and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta
Because
protect
we've
the
landed
asset.
separate.
That yellow mark
guys
right there.
dropping now?
That's where you're gonna land, Cody. Not yet.
No,
We'll tell you what.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Right
You know what?
now.
Answer that question in just a second. Let's get this dub real quick.
Okay.
Let's worry about killing people right now.
Okay.
That sounds so bad, but
Squad leader has jumped.
I'm in here.
2 on the chopper.
I see them. I'm shooting.
Is this one the chopper?
Only see one.
If they're hovering, that means they're still around.
I'm right above you.
Alright. Yeah, he's going up right now.
Did you land on top?
Killed
Got
one.
him?
Oh, another one. On me.
Come on, come on, come on.
Can you ping, Javier? Can you ping?
Yeah, he's over here.
Heading that way.
Down one.
Coming up to you.
He's dead.
Oh, nice.
There's another one though.
Yeah, there should be one more.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's Junior. Wait, where's Cody?
Where the hell did I go?
Oh, Cody's over
landed
here.
Cody.
Cody's on green.
Come over here.
Hold on.
The blue ping. You see that blue ping?
I see the what?
Clear to engage all targets.
The blue ping.
I'm looking.
There's like a blue little button.
Blue-
On your.
on my screen. I'm looking.
You're being tracked by an enemy team. Stay sharp.
I'll go find him.
Copper took off over here.
Cody. Where?
Okay. I think I see you. Oh. I'm
Oh Jesus! He's on the other side of the map. Yeah. Keep running
Yeah,
towards
it's pretty
us.
far.
Okay.
You're only like 4 soccer fields away from us.
Okay. I'm coming.
Hey, freaking when Jose was playing, he was just running people over. It worked too.
Uh,
Yeah. Hey, Cody, if you see a car, get on it and just run people over.
Okay.
That'll work. That'll work. Hey, Junior, we got enough for a Lodi. If you want to meet me at the buy station.
Bounty target identified.
Going.
Slot the bastard.
yeah, we haven't had a loadout the whole time we've been playing.
We're about to see some great communication, Cody.
Okay.
Excellent communication.
Prestige.
I'm not trying to say we're the shit at Call of Duty, but we're pretty much the shit at Call of Duty.
You guys are much better than I'll ever be.
You guys are totally the shit.
Drop inbound. Friendly UAV overhead.
Cody's down.
Oh! I just got ran over.
Okay,
How the fuck
Cody.
did I get ran over?
We'll revive you. Don't worry. Buy it back.
That's some bullshit, man. I'm sorry. I'm the weak link, clearly.
No, it's okay. You can
Okay,
stop all
Cody.
of our shots.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Take us onto the field. You expose every single one of us. Okay?
Yeah. I'll still outrun every single one of you, but
My good days, or my great days, are far behind me. I still have some decent days.
nah, you're right. That's why I pulled a groin.
You're in the gulag. Fight to earn redeployment.
All right, Cody, you're in the gulag. Just kill the guy that's in front of you.
Get yourself sorted. Up next.
Anybody got a sniper?
I did not get one.
Win here and you return to the
Cody, if you did have, like, now that you know, like, I guess the whole traditional college thing, do you, like, would you think back on that, what do you think you would, like, study in school, or,
Not over yet. Your team can still buy your
Business
release.
administration, something like that. Business administration,
Admin.
or I don't know. Communications is what I started with, but then I was kind of like, I think business, some sort of business or marketing. That would be something that I'd be most interested in.
See him in the air. Gotta
Alright.
guide him.
How can I descend
you res,
faster?
Cody?
I think it's X.
X? Okay.
Cut it.
No, I haven't cut the parachute, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah, cut it. You gotta
Sure.
cut it and then redeploy it. Yeah, cut. Don't worry.
Okay.
Got a long ways.
Okay, I see it.
See the little blue button? Just
Okay.
you're good. Keep dropping.
Keep
You
dropping.
can cut it
They're
again.
doing a recon right
Yeah.
ahead of me.
I'm looking at you. You're good. Dropping. Yeah, just drop it. Keep going. Okay, pull it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I
Now
see
come
where
towards me.
you guys are at.
Positive ID on the bounty
I'm right here.
target.
Blue button.
Target location.
Or yeah, green button, whichever one. Can't give you a weapon though.
Coming.
Okay, I'm right behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, follow me. Follow me.
Cool.
They're in here. Javier.
You guys
Yeah,
kill
there's
them. I'm
one.
gonna
Team
Javier,
white.
wipe. Let's go. Javier. Big brain. Okay.
do you have shields?
I do.
No.
There's this box,
X.
right? I think if you press X, yeah, hold it,
Body armor
and then
here.
you.
Press X and hold it. Capturing.
Yeah, hold it.
Okay.
And then there's like loadout 1, loadout 2. Just pick whatever you want.
Okay, cool. Primary. Boom. Cool.
All right, hey, follow me. Follow me. Oh.
Where we at?
How do you, hey, Javier. How
Yeah.
do you
Sprint.
No. Yeah, how do you sprint? How do you sprint?
You gotta push in the left analog stick.
So the left little nub, press it down while you're walking. While you're walking. There you go. You're running now. Okay, now how do you put on shields?
Y.
Y.
Top,
Press Y. Press Y.
top button.
Or top button. Hold it. Hold it.
I just did.
Oh, you don't have here.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, he don't
Grab
have
that.
shields.
Grab that.
Did I get it? Oh, no. X. Boom. Hold on. X. Did I get it? No?
How do you grab things, Javier?
X, right?
X, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta hold
Yeah,
X,
hold
yeah.
it. Or yeah, hold it. Hold X.
Hold X.
Or you gotta look at the shield. There you.
There we go. Oh, 2-2? 2X.
No,
There we go.
just,
Got
there
it.
you go.
Perfect,
Now
perfect,
hit up or Y or whichever one.
Okay. Hit Y. Where are we at?
Enemy UAV overhead.
There you go. All right.
Sweet.
Now let's go.
Okay, cool.
You should have another weapon.
How do you switch?
Good question. Y. Just push Y.
Boom.
There you go. There you go. You
Sweet.
got the.
There
Alright,
and
now
here.
let's follow me. Yo, Cody, what's your music taste like?
Dude, I like everything, man. I like everything.
Yeah?
So I'm a big, you know, I've been on it for a while. Is from a hip hop standpoint, is St. John. You listen to St. John?
St. John,
Gas is closing
really?
in.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, St. John.
Roses?
Yeah, Roses is like the one they've been remixing, right?
Yeah, it's the mainstream one.
That's the mainstream one. Yeah, he's got a couple great albums so far.
On me.
Oh, dang! I didn't think he was gonna be able to run those cars over.
You're not the first one.
But yeah, he ran my ass right over.
Where you at?
Or, no.
Looking for you.
What's? Cody, come back, come back.
Gulag.
Where are you?
We're gonna pull back.
Okay.
We're gonna pull back.
Pulling back.
St. John. That sounds familiar. I've
Yeah,
seen
St.
that.
John,
And listened to some songs.
Team wipe.
Who?
I wiped him out. Oh shit! There it is! Cody, run! Run away from this
Okay,
building.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
run away from this building.
Teammate got their
That's probably a different team.
They're RTB at this time.
Hold on, I'll
Your
play some
teammate
St.
was
John.
sent to the Gulag.
They've been remixing it like
Put
crazy.
on oh man.
I'll play whatever you want, man.
Redeploying to the AO.
Let me let's go with St. John. Let's see.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, you've heard that one. Play I heard you got too lit last night.
Heard you got too lit last night.
Yeah.
By him?
By St. John, yeah.
Gas is closing in.
Yep. Absolute tune.
Little did we know, Cody's a gangster. At the field. He got bodies on him. Shit.
Your
Left-
teammate
oh,
got
damn, I'm
proper
dead.
sorting. We're sending them
Left
on.
Puerto Rico for a reason, man.
Hey, I like Bad Bunny though.
I hope so.
Bad Bunny's incredible.
Oh, it's crazy.
Bad Bunny?
Love him.
Bro, so many people paid so
Yeah.
much money for his concert.
Oh, I heard about that.
Pop somebody?
I bought tickets for $100,
Did you?
but we're going to Canada.
Are you really?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, we decided if we're gonna pay a lot, we're gonna go somewhere.
Right,
So,
of course.
The tickets weren't bad, $100, but we're gonna spend some money going to Canada.
Of course, of course.
Um,
You guys buy
But-
anybody back? Buy Cody back.
but when we thought about Cody's in,
Cody's still alive.
Oh, Cody's still alive? What?
yeah,
Clock's ticking. Get to the target.
Alright, buy me back, thank. I got 4 kills.
No, no, by me first. I'm the guest.
Ah, yeah, that's true, that's true, that's true. Might have your back.
Cody, come follow me. I'm right
I'm
here.
looking for you. Where am I? Where you at?
More tacticals here.
Right here, NXT.
Yeah, go in there. Go back in the building. Yeah, go back in the building.
Okay.
Disregard last.
Wait, what part of Canada? Toronto?
Toronto,
Oh, I
yeah.
see you. Okay, I'm following you.
Will you bring me back a shot glass?
I will.
UAV overhead.
All right.
Oh, no.
Let's go, Cody. Let the chopper sing.
Oh
Damn, they didn't.
The whole team.
Yeah, they were chopping up.
no! Damn. Okay.
Cody. I think Cody's got to go, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna play one more.
All right. One more. Well, Cody, man, thank you. Appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us. And hopefully, you're a regular kind of like Latino. He came in one day and then he's
Never
been
left.
here ever
So we
since.
like it.
Yeah. He never left. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we like to call it.
That's fine. We like that. But yeah, man, anytime
we
you
like
want to
that.
get your game on, or if you ever want to rent out our facility with some of your friends, just let us
Absolutely.
know. And but yeah, man, we're excited. I know you said earlier you want to get into the esports world by representing some agents. I mean some players.
It definitely
As
won't
an
be.
agent?
Definitely won't be as a player. That's for sure. But look, I'm willing to learn. I want to
Yeah.
learn more about this industry. I think this is an incredible industry. Obviously, it's a booming one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I just want to help. I want to help. So whether it be soccer related or just life related stuff in general. Look,
Yeah.
I'm always open. I like to be interactive. I like to, reach out to, anybody who has questions. Please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, and like we said, I think in this world,
Make it ready for deployment.
the internet world, you can do a lot.
Exactly.
I was reading an article that soon institutions are gonna go away, and in every single way that you can think of, colleges, banks, information's just gonna be out there. It's the internet. So I truly believe that you have a lot to say, and you have a way of saying things that people can relate
for
to,
sure.
and honestly, this is the least that we've played on our guest night, and it's just because you had a lot to say and the way that you said it. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, it was very informative.
Dude, of course.
And I think again, I definitely would recommend pushing the podcast and maybe even doing a stream of you just talking about things and people talking to you about stuff.
Of course.
And we can hook it up and let you know how the best way to do that. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what you're gonna do. I have a special fan that texted me that you're gonna take over LAFC one day, and I hope you do, because that's my favorite MLS team.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I think the sky's the limit, and thank you so much, man. I hope you definitely come back and see us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again. I can express, how grateful I am for, you don't want to, spend time with one another, and
Avoid the gas. Get to
you know,
the safe zone.
this is the interaction that we've had, between one another has been incredible. So I'm grateful for you guys, just like you're grateful for me. So
Thank you, Cody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's it. We're family now. That's what it's
right.
with family. So
That's
right.
You're hired.
Yeah, it's funny. This whole stream, I just been listening and listening and listening. Normally, I'm a big talker, but this whole stream, I've just been. I'm a chatter.
I was wondering. I was like, is he busy today? He's not saying much. He don't want to talk to us.
Today I've been just listening and listening. And I it's cool. I mean, it's interesting to see one man's life and his career. All try to get the most out of it in 2 hours, in 2-3 hours.
yeah.
So
Thank you for actually taking interest in it, man. I appreciate that.
Your primary objective is to kill them all.
I got people on me. Oh,
Down
yeah,
one.
I'm dead.
Killed one.
I killed one, but I'm dead.
Your teammate was sent to the gulag.
I'm heading
They'll
your
fight
way.
for a chance to redeploy.
I backed off, Cody. Because I was by myself and I suck.
Yeah, right.
Enemy located.
Damn, he was one shot too.
Your teammate has entered the gulag.
Thing about Javier is he's big brain. He's methodical about the way he kills people in this game.
Okay.
Borderline, it's borderline scary. Me and Junior, we're just brutes. We just go to war. We see somebody, we try to kill them.
Guy took off in the ATV.
Your teammate got a
Damn.
problem sorted. We're sending them home.
Iron Man. Oh shit!
Your teammate
Back.
is redeploying. Stand by.
See.
Sheesh! Buddy, do you do that?
Do I what?
Do you do that? Sheesh!
No, the 5th and 6th grade kids that I was coaching earlier, they do that shit.
Oh Lord, Jesus Christ!
Don't do it no more. Let's don't do it no more.
It's over with.
It
We're
is,
never
man.
using it again.
What's the idea behind it? Like I don't know what the.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Killed
picked it up
another.
from Junior.
You what?
I picked it up from Junior. I don't know.
Okay.
Junior, you tell us.
I picked it up from the guys from our Valorant team.
Yeah, we picked it up from our Valorant team players. They're like 19 to like.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. I'm still in the age of dabbing.
Okay.
Is that
yeah.
still cool?
But do you do it ironically or unironically?
Ooh, you go way back. Okay, I see you. Unironically. I can't even say that word. Can't pronounce it. Who died?
I did.
If you have money, Javier. Only if you have money.
No, I don't. For not any. No, I don't actually. I was trying to say
don't-
no, I don't, to be mean, but I really don't.
Don't push that way. There's people over there that we don't.
All right, drop off then. Get these boys back.
Oh, we're not in the group. We're not in the zone, huh?
Okay, we're not too far out. There's still some loot here.
Ooh, there you go. Perfect.
That's some.
Win here and you return to the front line.
Good luck.
Your fight is over.
Oh. Alright, Cody.
There's the one
Time
behind
to
that.
earn your freedom, soldier.
While we're here, I'm gonna read some of the comments real quick. Iron Man 11 says, "What's up, fellas? I'm late, but I'm here."
You're heading
What's
Cody
up,
is
Iron
the
Man?
goat. Cody is the
Appreciate
goat.
it. And then,
Iron Man said, "You can just tell how true and down to earth Cody is. He showed so much support to me without even
that's
knowing me."
and that's just a
That's why I
couple
started
of
my thing.
this is a couple of hours of conversation. You know, I could just imagine. Imagine you doing this on a everyday basis, Cody.
I'm gonna have to take you guys up on that. You know.
I think Cody could get us so many follows. It says,
Honest.
Iron Man 11 says, "I still want a picture with Cody and want a jersey and gloves signed by him."
Absolutely. Say no more. Hit me up in on my direct messages, and I'll take care of that.
Heard that.
And I'm sorry that I haven't done it sooner.
Station here.
Cody, I do have a wall of pictures with professional soccer players, so I'm gonna need one with these. I have a picture with Jared, Borghetti, Osvaldo Sanchez.
Really? What, so I have no business being on that wall.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you-
business.
You've been through it all, Cody.
Yeah, you.
You'd be the youngest star on my wall.
Okay.
Hey, you should have seen my face. I was like, damn, he flexing on us right now. Damn. Yeah, well, my plants are cool. What about that, Javier? I got cool ass plants.
I just got lucky.
Oh, we can buy one of them back real quick.
Yeah, I'll get him back.
Go for it. I'm gonna go secure this area. I'm probably gonna die though.
I had to go on a stage and sing so that I could get Osvaldo Sanchez's autograph and picture.
Really?
Oh no.
What do you sing?
I sang, there's a song by El Morro,
Uh-huh.
his name is, and he sings Prefiero el fútbol.
Okay.
And so
Translation? Translation?
he just sings the whole time, I prefer soccer. And so the whole song is like, yo no quiero escuela, prefiero el fútbol.
Okay.
And it's just, I sang like the first 5 words, and then I kind of just gave up on the whole thing. And I was like, I'm just here for an autograph.
Moving. Recon
You
intel
guys
in the
have
area.
enough if you guys went together?
Okay. La, give me your cash.
Hold on, I'm shooting people. There's a team in the house as well. There's a team on the far back, and then the.
No.
Oh, he dead.
Just getting crushed
Dead.
over here.
Oh no, I'm dead.
Buck shit up. Crawford.
Hold on, he's in here. His,
Oh, you're
his
in
friend's
the
coming
house?
around. No, there's a guy over here too.
Oh, there's 2 of them, bro.
There's a whole squad here. Oh, he's rezzing one.
I
he's
don't know if I
res.
should push. Oh, I'm dead. We're dead. Gotta go. Oh, you gotta go load.
I still got Goalie. Damn, look at me at the top of the charts.
This man. Let the chopper sing. Oh,
No way,
my
bro.
authority.
Me
I
falta.
appreciate you giving me, like I said, I fully sat back and just, it was
He's in the bathroom right now.
after, oh, okay. Tell him that it was awesome to have him, bro. Dude, he has a way of words, man. Sounds so
Yeah.
damn, man sounds like he's read the dictionary before, I know it.
I don't want to sound racist, but I think it's the Puerto Rican in him. He's got the smooth way.
Is he Puerto Rican?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
Okay, Rican. Okay.
Yeah, he represented the
Dude,
Puerto Rican team.
I didn't know that the Puerto Rican their international team played in the league, you know how sometimes they just play friendly, international friendly. I didn't know they actually played in a
Yeah.
league too.
Yeah, CONCACAF, no?
No, like the USL. You know how they play in the USL? Like
Oh,
it would be like Mexico playing in the USL kind of, you know.
Oh yeah, no, he was talking about it was a team, it was a league, right? The team you played for in Puerto Rico was a league.
No, I think it was the Puerto Rico. From what I read online, I think it's the same team. It's like the
Say
international
that
team
again?
also played in the league.
Right.
Oh, do you mind putting on the yeah? Yeah, because that's what Junior was asking about.
It was the NASL and the USL. So we would travel to play, Miami FC, to play Tampa Bay Rowdies, to play.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Junior was trying to make that distinguishment between like the actual club team, because when you played in Puerto Rico, you played for the club team, but you also played for the Puerto Rico international team.
Yeah, correct. So
Okay.
I'm not Puerto Rican by heritage, but because I live there and it's a Commonwealth of the United States, you're able to represent the national team. And I started representing them back in 2017. 2017, yeah.
Okay.
But like a lot of the guys that have made up the team in the past, not Puerto Rican by heritage, not lived on the not born on the island, but have lived there long enough to provide, rental statements or proof of living.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's crazy. I did not know that.
yeah,
What
That
the
proof of
hell?
residence gets you anything.
exactly.
Well, that's the thing about my wife and I found so interesting once we visited Puerto Rico. Like, yeah, we knew Puerto Rico as a territory and all this, but once you're in Puerto Rico and you get a sense of the history, the culture, and how Puerto Rico is its own nation, shouldn't be a territory of the
Right.
U.S. My opinion.
Right.
You actually sense it and feel it, but when you're in the States,
Right.
it's just another territory, and you don't think about it being its own world, its own life.
The political aspect there is an interesting one too, because you have, like you said, people that want to be their own country. You have people that are happy with the status quo, and then you have people that are kind of in between. I understand both sides. I would say this though: without the financial backing of, let's say, the U.S.,
Yeah.
they don't. What does Puerto Rico export? They don't.
Yeah,
They don't.
they don't.
Right. So if
Music.
yeah, yeah, right. Entertainment.
Bad Bunny. Yeah.
Entertainment. Right.
I like that.
Sorry.
And tourism is a heavy one, right? But even tourism has taken a big hit. So while I understand people want them to, the people that want to be their own thing, their own culture, their own country.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as that because you're going to you're going to kind of really set yourself back, and it's going to be more of a, how do I say this? Well,
Well, what about the idea of statehood?
okay, so I'll say this: if they were to become a state, right, the median income in Puerto Rico is half of what the U.S.'s poorest state is, which I believe is Kentucky. Okay, so if they become a state, how do you expect them to be able to afford to pay taxes? Any extra taxes that they aren't paying, right? Just to say that they are a state, right? It's not as
Not stable.
It's not as cut and dry, right? So
Yeah.
you're going to take somebody who has a median income of half of the U.S.'s poorest state and then open them up to any other federal taxes, right? They're not going to be able. The local Puerto Rican already has a very difficult time making ends meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to make it harder on that person to. And the other thing is this: is I believe, I don't know if this is still the case, but I believe there's been a push to bring pharmaceutical manufacturing to the island, which would be massive, right? Job creation and being able to export it, right? Because I believe it's some absurd number, like 80 or 90% of our pharmaceuticals they're coming from China, that the U.S. uses. So I think it would be smart for them to move an industry like that down there.
Do you read a lot of books?
I listen a lot.
Well,
Dictionary.
podcasts, like you said earlier.
I listen a lot, and I take on in things that I find like statistical analysis of things and how things are not just because without getting like let's say political, but everything nowadays is so emotional, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, hold on a second, let's go through the facts, right?
The data.
Let's look at the data, right? And then let me form my opinion based off of the data, not just the emotional reaction I have to it, right?
Yeah.
That's I try to listen as much as I possibly can. Podcasts are a massive help with that, like things that would have never ever in a million years learned from a textbook or had interest to learn from a textbook.
Ladies and gentlemen, Q podcast featuring Cody Laurendi coming pretty soon. Give us about 2 months to figure out the details.
Legit. I'm legit.
Cody, you want to make some money?
Yeah.
You want to make some? Have you seen Training Day with
Denzel?
Denzel Washington? Yeah. You want to go home or you want to go to jail? You want to go home or you want to go to jail? Okay. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm curious, right? I'm curious in terms of the way of the world, right? And
Yeah.
I'll give you a random one, right? And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day that I'm trying to help place on a team who's out in Vancouver, right? Canada, right, has put laws in place on foreign ownership of land. And Vancouver is already a very, very expensive place to live. The Chinese purchase land, purchase houses. They send their youngest over to start the process of obtaining citizenship, all while driving the real estate market in Vancouver through the freaking roof. Because we were talking about housing earlier.
Gentrification.
Well, he was saying,
but it's foreign gentrification.
Correct. To the point where people are offering $500,000-$600,000 over asking price, but just because that's or offering $500,000-$600,000 over asking price because that's the market, right? So the way of the world, the way things work, the way the struggle for power, for influence, if we want an affordable iPhone, right? The trade-off is, lithium batteries that they're mining in Mexico right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it being produced over in, a foreign country where there is no labor law. There is, or very
Yeah.
relaxed labor law, right? Where they can pay you, a couple.
$2 an hour, $2
Exactly.
a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. The age-old one was the shoes that we wear, right? Where are they manufactured? Generally, they're manufactured in some sort of sweatshop somewhere else. But us as Americans, and I'm not saying this is right, but us as Americans take our ideals and put them on other countries where they say, "Oh, how could you pay them that much money or whatever?" When generally, yeah, working conditions should be better, but if that's what you're used to, you don't know any better. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
True.
and
True.
and
True.
I'm not saying that's right by any means, right? But it's I try to be as curious as I possibly can to really learn the reality of the situation, not just the emotional reaction to the situation.
So you're like a contradiction. You're like a paradox because we had some conversations before the stream, and it's like kind of socialist, but then you're kind of like capitalism.
Of course,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Look,
Yeah.
Which is awesome because
Yeah,
you can't just be black or white.
correct.
Yeah, I've always like taken
Yeah,
those
true.
like
Gray area, that gray
political
area.
tests, and
Yeah.
yeah, I always turned out to be like a centralist.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like kind of on. I see a realist more
Yeah,
than
Yeah.
anything.
yeah. I tend to be cautiously optimistic on most things, right? And empathy, I feel, and look, I'm not as educated as I should be with this, but I think a lot of people look at capitalism as mean, right? And I think a lot of people, I think yeah, no one way has its clear cut, and it's not, and it's nothing but positive. No, I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but I think people demonize job creators, and there are far fewer job creators in the world than anyone else. Right now, you could talk about the conversation of work and workplace environment and what is acceptable wage and stuff like that. But then you get into the conversation of, let's take McDonald's for example, right? I believe that McDonald's is not set up to support a family of four, right? Whereas a lot of people view that entry level job, because it is an entry level job. I'm not saying anything wrong. That's how my parents met. My parents met at McDonald's. They both worked at McDonald's, right? But it put them through college. I think there's a conversation to be had.
Times have changed.
Times have changed. Correct. But I think a job at an entry level job is for entry level skill,
Agreed.
I agree with that too.
Agreed.
I agree with that too.
right?
I don't think that somebody at McDonald's should be making as much as Jose, who's doing the extra work,
Correct.
or Javier,
Correct.
who's a lawyer. Whereas where you're like, and again, my dad's done plenty of crazy jobs.
Right.
From working at McDonald's.
Right.
To he owns a successful business.
Right.
And there were moments in our life, in our history, in our family where it's like, okay, my dad had to do that to put the food, but he didn't
Correct.
just stay there and said, I want $15 an hour right now. He was
Correct.
kind of like, I need to do this for the time being until I figure shit out. And then once he figured shit out, he was like, all right. boom.
Correct.
Next, what's
I'm
next?
out-
What's next?
what's next? I'm not gonna stay here because then
Yeah.
that just creates a sense, not entitlement, but you're sedative. You're
Yeah. Look, in any employment, right, your employer has to make a decision that you are worth whatever hourly wage he or she is going to pay you. They have to make that. They have to make that distinction, right? Because if you're running if you're running a business, right, and you're going to pay me $20 an hour, but I'm only worth $15 of production, that business isn't going to be around for a long time,
No.
right?
True, true.
And that's, and look, I'm not, I want to be very clear. I'm not talking shit about an entry level position, because I've done it, right? But it is not set up to support a family of four. And I think a lot of the time, these arguments are centered around, well, I can't afford to put food on my table for a family of four. Well, it's not designed to be a career. It's designed to be a job. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
And look, everybody's situation is different. Some people are, are born with more advantages in life. I'm definitely one of those people. I didn't grow up rich, but grew up middle class, working middle class. So, I always saw both parents go to work day in and day out. And there's other people that have had less of that opportunity. So let me be very clear. I'm not demeaning that. It's just the when you look at the reality of the situation, it's not. That's something that's not meant to be a career. It's meant to be a stop on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because I've met people who, like you said, begin that 9 to 5, and there's so much talk in entrepreneurship and like how your 9 to 5 should only be the base of what you're going to do, and finding a good entry level position or
Right.
starting position to where you can learn those skills to then go on and build.
Right.
And if you look at McDonald's and the culture maybe around McDonald's and some of the employees in McDonald's, like it's a fast-paced workplace. It's you're dealing with customers on a daily basis, and so there are so many different things that you can take from a job like that at an entry level
Yes.
to then go on and build either at a not an entry level, but
Correct.
medium, higher, whatever, and so on. And I mean, of course, I understand there are people like you said who have more advantages who maybe go into a McDonald's job thinking of what's next, and
Yes.
some people who go into the McDonald's job and thinking like, well, this is it,
Right.
this is what I'm gonna do. And my wife and I, like when I mentioned moving to Puerto Rico, we're like, well, we could move to Puerto Rico and just pick up a small job like anywhere and do whatever we have to do because it's only two of us. And so for you to like qualify, it's not set up for a four person family. That's big too, because it's true.
Right.
It's not designed for that. It is a job. It's not a career.
Right. And I'd
I like
actually
that.
I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts in terms of the economics behind student debt, because I have not graduated. I don't have a degree, right? And I don't have the student debt. And now obviously this is a massive conversation piece of debt relief. And I understand the aspect of the stress that goes into debt relief, or that would come from the stress relief that would come from debt relief, right?
Yeah.
But I also understand the reality of personal responsibility, right? Of kids that are 17 years of age, 18 years of age, that they're gonna give you this loan where you have no work experience, nothing to show for it, no credit history, no anything like that, but they're gonna give you.
That's just crazy. No collateral.
Correct. And
Yeah.
student debt or student loans are the only thing that you cannot default on, right? You can default on a home, you can get your car repossessed, right? You can go bankrupt, but those student loans, they stick with you, right? And I'm not giving you a history lesson by any means, but back in the 60s, the government saw that these kids are going to take out this money, we're going to guarantee it. Okay, let's guarantee it. Let's make sure that they're going to have to pay it back. And then these universities says, okay, what was $10,000 a year to go to school is now 15, is now 20, is now 30, is now 40, because these kids, the government is backing us.
Yeah.
Right? So they're stuck, and they're at a point of their life, and this is what really frustrates me, is that when you come out of school, you're at the point of your life where you're most willing to take an entrepreneurial risk on yourself, and you can't. And you can't. You can't because you have that cloud of six-figure debt over your head.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're just
You have the big C, and then you don't have the other C. You have this huge cloud of debt, but then you have no capital.
bingo. Exactly. Exactly.
So where do you go from there?
And it's frustrating because it's unattainable. It's like or it's not sustainable, right?
What are your thoughts on like trade school?
Oh my gosh, I think trade school, for whatever reason, for years had been demonized as like less than. And the reality is you have a skill, you have a discernible skill that will make you money for the rest of your life, right?
Yep.
Plumbers, like look at the cost of like raw materials right now, like lumber, right? To
Yeah.
to build, right? Lumber has gone through the roof, right? Or other materials. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of one, but the plumbers, right? Electricians, right? If 10,000 people a year retire from the electrician field and 7,000 people are coming in as new hires, what does that do for
Oh
your
yeah.
hourly rate? You know, you're able
Yeah.
to you could call your shot.
Mhm.
You know, so I'm a big believer in trade schools.
I guess part of the thing in our culture maybe that doesn't promote so much of a trade school is this idea of it's always been hard labor. And so we grow up, or my parents, and my family's always grown up and like, you don't get away from doing this hard labor,
Right.
or
Yeah.
or get away from getting your hands dirty. And so like my family, in a sense, like my brother, an example, he is an electrician, and he's like, I don't know how you can come in and sit in your office all day. I'm like, well, I did some of the hard work, and I don't want to do that anymore.
It's
But
crazy because like
finding a balance there. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, go
no,
ahead.
for me it was the opposite because I was a banker for a while. I
Yeah.
was dressed nice, fucking
Dappered up.
AC, dappered up. People look at you and you tell them you're a banker, and they're especially in the Hispanic community, they're like, oh damn, shit with his life. But for me, I hated being in an office, 9 to 5. I hated it because you're just sitting there, you're just
Right.
wasting time. And in my head, I was always running through ideas of like, I'm a creative. I like photography.
Right.
I like, I learned how to play instruments. So for me, it was kind of like, oh man. And then my parents, like you said, it was like, no, go to college. You don't want to work. But now it's like I work for my dad, who
Yep.
has a trucking business, and
Okay.
it's a successful business. And I think it was like 2 weeks into working for my dad, so he does trucking. So he does all the hauling of
Yeah.
construction material.
Yeah.
And one day we pull up to this construction site, and his friend is like, "Hey, do you want to help us for free?" Or I guess he was gonna say, "We'll pay you." And my dad was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Luis, get in there." And like for me, I was wearing these shoes. I was wearing like this attire, and because I'm like the tax collector for my dad and my counter or whatever. And so I was like, "You wanna like right now?" He's like, "Yeah." I told him we're gonna help him. And so I was like, well, fuck it. And for like 5 hours, we broke concrete.
Oh.
Like, it was like half a football field. And I've had so much fun. And in my mind, I was like, we did it for 5 hours, but in my mind, it went like that. And I was like, I remember like when I quit my job and I started doing this,
Right.
I went from having a
Right.
stable, comfortable, going
Yep. Yep. Yep.
but and I'm happy, and I was so happy in those 5 hours just breaking rock with my dad, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, dude, I'm getting a workout in, and like, I don't care. So I think at the end of the day, I really the high schools and middle school, everybody's paths is different.
Exactly.
Not Jose, for Javier, that construction life, lawyer, and he loves that shit, and he's good at it. For me, I like that gritty stuff.
Right.
I like stereotypical, but I love it. I love to mow my yard.
Right.
I love to do then doing things like this, it frees up. So I think for push in early education is not necessarily find something that you're passionate, because you're different when you're 17 to when you're
Of
27.
course. Of course.
But if you have a tug, explore it. If you like
Absolutely.
music, if you're good at
Agreed.
soccer,
Agreed.
Jose with Jose, he had a tug for public, help where he became a police officer. Do it, and I feel like I'm pretty sure Jose went through this too, where people were like, "Why do you want to be a cop?" Especially in his
Mhm.
environment.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Why do you want to do that?
That's a question.
You
That's a
can do
question I
you,
get even now all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm the type of person that uh, you could have been an energy soccer player, or you could have been the best damn plumber in the world. But because you are the best at what you do, I don't care.
Right.
Like, yo, dude, you want to be and that's just something that my mother installed in us. I don't care if you want to be work at the White House,
Yep.
but if you're gonna work there, you're gonna be the best at what you
Yep.
do. And I
What's
don't
that?
care if you want to be
What?
the taco stand person. If you want to have a taco stand, be the fucking best taco stand person that you
What?
have. And
Remember we said
so
about this
I
last
think
time, Luis,
that's
that we give ourselves our own kind of success. Everyone's
yeah,
success is
yeah,
their own opinion.
it's
Their
different.
own meaning
Correct.
of
Yeah.
success. Everybody has their own meaning
Cause
of
like
success.
for some people that might be playing in Europe, they look at your career and they might be like, well, that's not good enough for me. But
Right.
then for you, you're fucking happy. It fulfills your why.
Dude, I feel
And it,
I feel like I've maximized my potential. And
Mm.
and that's something that's really really important is like at the end of the day, um, I don't have I wish I have at some point I have oh well like oh well, I did it and we're talking about games, individual games. Oh well, we lost, right? But that sure as heck beats I wish I was playing the game,
Mhm.
and that comes from like you said, being the best at whatever it is. You could be a plumber, you could be a soccer player, you could be a teacher, you could be a lawyer, right? Whatever you're going to do, you got to be you have to have the mentality of I'm going to be the best at it, right? 'Cause I know I'm not the best goalkeeper, but I'm going to train like I
you're in
am.
my books, Cody. You're in
Thanks.
my books.
But that's I mean, my dad said the same thing. He was like, when he worked at McDonald's, it's the hardest work you do because I want to be the best at it for the least amount of money. And we had very similar upbringings like that, where you instilled or you are instilled with this work ethic, right, and this desire to achieve, whatever the pinnacle is or whatever you're trying to do, you have to try to be the best
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think money just plays. I feel like money is such a driver, and yeah, you need money to pay for things you want.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I feel like some people lose sight of that. Your happiness,
Of
your
course.
mental health,
Of course.
and I feel like some mental health, like some people, their mental health, like recovery is going on vacation. Fuck it, let them go on vacation. For some people, it might just invest in themselves the way you invested when you went to those camps, or
Exactly.
maybe putting $150 into your savings account. That is your mental
Yep.
safe haven. So I feel like that's something that needs to be pushed and I want to say again, I might get shitted on this, but it needs to be exercised in American education, because you go to other European, Latin American countries, and it's like they start you early. Like one of the cool things is that I've learned, and it was one of my cousins. She's the older cousin in our family. She comes from a wealthy family in Mexico. The parents are a doctor and a nurse in Mexico, and they make good money. And she could have gone to any college in the U.S. or Mexico. She did like a semester in like a community college down there, and she was like, you know what, this isn't for me. She went to Europe, and she learned
Right.
a lot. And she always tells me that was the best experience ever because, her parents cut her off because she was like, she pretty much sold everything she had and then moved out there, not even telling her parents until the day of, like, okay,
Wow.
hey, I'm moving to Europe.
Yeah.
I'm moving to France, right? She knows a little bit of English, she knows Spanish, but I'm moving to France. She moved out there. She was out there for 3 years, and like she lived that like homeless, not homeless, but she lived that day to day. Like, okay, where am I gonna get this food? So
That
she got a
grind.
different perspective, but she also learned so much. And she tells me, I would give up anything, and I would do it again, and I would give up the colleges that I was supposed to go to. I would give up the
Right.
cars that my parents wanted to buy me,
Right.
and I would do it again. And that's one of the things that kind of stuck to me. It's kind of like there's a lot out there in the world.
There is.
There's
And
so
when
much.
there's just so much, and I think that's my biggest fear, that I won't ever get to live all of it, and it's crazy, you know.
Of
Like
course.
I think one of the things that me and my significant other talk about all the times, it's like I want to travel, but I don't just want to go on vacation. I want to
Correct.
live there, and it's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but you know, you can't live in Barcelona, then go live in Paris, then go live in, you know, Liverpool, then go live.
Right.
You know, it's just you won't be able to do it. Very few people get to do it. But that is my fear. It's like, oh shit, I won't ever get to experience all of it. You know, there's so many
Yeah.
people to talk to and get to know, whether it's the person on the street or the CEO. Like,
Yep.
I wanna talk to people. You know, and that is my biggest fear. It's like not getting to just hear people's stories. And it's one of the cool things about guest night. You know, I get to, you know, with Javier, I get to learn a little bit more about him.
Exactly.
With you, you know, you came in today, and hopefully you get to come back with Jose. You know, he's my cousin-in-law, and you know, I've known him for 4 years, and there's still things where I'm like, oh shit, you know, he's insecure about this, or maybe he's not insecure about this, and I'm like, whoa, like, you know, this is somebody that I know. He's family, and I imagine if you go talk to other people, like,
Yep.
it's just insane. You know, this world
You learn more and more
is
every day.
huge. Yeah, for
1000%.
sure.
1000%.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Well, I gotta cut out of here.
Yeah,
No,
thank
you're
No
good,
worries.
you're
Yeah,
good, you're good.
it's been a good one. It's been a good one, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a good one today. I said I'm a chatter, Cody, but with you I was just listening. I was a sponge today, and like I said,
We're gonna have to put that
you,
podcast together.
yeah, you were
I
more
got
informative.
ideas already.
Okay.
This
I'ma
thing went
hit you
beyond
up.
soccer today. This thing went beyond
Yeah,
soccer
I'm
today.
gonna hit you up because we have the equipment. And, you know, I think we have the right person. I'll talk to you about some ideas
Perfect.
that I got. Me, QB Sports, I want it to be more than esports. I want it to be lifestyle.
Of course.
But I bring a lot, and you know, like Javier, he brings a lot to the table. Like, he brings a lot to the table. You know, this is beautiful. So thank you.
No, this is an honor, and I think this is a start of something really, really special. And however I can help, and then obviously I am going to utilize the help that you could give me, and
Absolutely.
we're gonna make this a very mutually beneficial relationship. That's for damn sure.
For sure,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely.
For you, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys that have been watching, thank you so much.
Thank
Iron
you,
Man,
guys.
thank you so much. The Meg, all of you guys from OKC. That was CJ, by the way, ATL.
Yeah.
CJ. CJ, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. We're gonna have to make you come in here. Javier, any words, last words?
Just a big thank you to QB Sports, to Cody for sharing all that knowledge with us, and you know, this is the space to talk about everything and anything that we want. So I appreciate you for creating the space for us, and looking forward to the next one. I missed the game.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Words
Keep doing
of
it.
wisdom? Any words of wisdom that you'd like to
No,
say
look,
out there?
I just thank you for the platform first and foremost. I really, really enjoyed this. You know, I think it's important to whoever's out there, whatever you're trying to achieve. I think it's important to be multifaceted, have you know, different interests, because it's going to help you you know, throughout life. Definitely don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing. You know, having said that, look, I've really enjoyed everybody who's logged on, who's you know, the interaction that we've been able to have. That does mean a lot, so thank you. I'm sorry that I was so poor at playing video games, but the interaction that we've had, you know, tonight,
Yeah.
I think definitely makes up for it, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing this again.
Thank you, Cody.
Awesome.
Junior, anything
I-
you want to add to it?
You know what, hey Cody, I appreciate you coming on. I actually,
course.
like I said, I was very informative stream today. I listened a lot and I learned a lot. It's like I said, I learned a lot, and I appreciate you sharing so much with us and with our, you know, the viewers that we have, and everybody that tuned in. Thank you. Catch you guys on the next one, and we'll keep on bringing more, and there's more things to come. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, guys.
We have a lot in the pipeline, but thank you everybody for tuning in, and appreciate everybody. Cody, Javier, Junior, all the way from LA, and as always, spread love, positivity, spread knowledge, and yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Good night.
Yes.